different to us, but they're also white, so I'm allowed to be racist to them.
Ripley, how come I'm now banned? Unban me from the Discord server.
Nick, you don't score until you score!
There's my boy.
Hello everyone, welcome to the SHOCKMOUTHS podcast. I'm Mitch. With me today, as always, is today's replacement Ripley, which is always Miss Perfect Paradox. How are you?
Not always, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Most of the time. And
most of the time.
And what do you call it in the Royal Rumble? Surprise entrant number 2 is Chris the Narc.
What's up, Mitch?
Hey, man.
Let's welcome Chris. Welcome, Chris.
I gotta ask, Mitch, what's your favorite meal to eat on your first date, bro?
My honest answer? Well, we're going to lose viewers if I give my honest answer. It's basically Mexican. Like, go out for dinner somewhere and then, like, offer to go, like, somewhere else. You got to go to a second location, like the beach. And if they say yes to go to a second location, you're going good. It's a good barometer to find out how you're going.
Are you bringing up second location? Dude, that sounds like that fucking scene in Always Sunny where he's like, get him to the secondary location.
When you bring up the second location, though, like while you're at the first location or
yes,
at the beginning of the date?
You don't take them to the second location without bringing up the second location, because that would be an implication.
At the very beginning of the date, though, do you have a conversation where you're like, okay, so we'll go eat some Mexican and then we'll go to a movie?
No, it doesn't have to be a surprise second location. You can bring that up before, but always have a second location in mind, because if you don't go to it, then it's done. You're done. It's fucked. You know, pretty early on.
I'm more disappointed in Mitch. I'm disappointed in Mitch that you just didn't say pussy outright, you know?
Oh, no.
I'm pretty upset with you.
You're not getting it.
Yeah, well, apparently get in line.
Yeah. I'm highly offended by Mitch's statements. I blame Mitch and the entirety for this situation.
Yeah, that's all right. I blame him a lot, too.
All right. So if you're a bit lost, should we start at the beginning?
Yes.
Early this week.
That's a good place to start instead of the end. But you know, thanks for coming.
Early this week, Chris and I got a message. I don't know how Chris's went, but mine went something like, "Hey, Mitch, just wanted to give you a heads up. In the latest episode of Wamen recording, we talk about the Valentines stream." And I was like, "Okay, cool. What do you mean?" And Aussie said, "You know, I just how I was uncomfortable with the sexual jokes made." And all I could say in response was this.
I'm sorry. I don't remember any of it.
Sorry, Chris. I just played a clip that you couldn't hear.
No, that's all right.
That's why I went
You're
quiet. Good. Yeah, and then I thought nothing of it until the other day when, yesterday, when Core comes out saying that we should apologize. And, because honestly, I hadn't listened to Wamen recording yet. So I hadn't heard that bit. Chris, do you want to give your point of view of how you got roped into this?
Same thing happened.
How did your DM go?
Same exact as Mitch. I even said, like, I don't understand what the big deal is. My exact wording was, it was pretty tame if I remember. I'm surprised that there's an issue.
And she can be
okay, hold on. So your email your DM came from whom?
Empress.
Okay. And it was, hey, heads up, we're gonna be doing this episode, and we talk about the Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, it's basically that, and it's like, you know, Aussie was uncomfortable, and I was like, I don't think it was that big of a deal. It was literally a joke. I even brought up that Aussie DM'd me on the 22nd, and I said, "What's up?" and she never responded. So I was like, whatever, it can't be that big of a deal. And honestly, this whole thing's a nothing burger, right? But
it's better than what I was gonna be talking about today. I was just gonna read YouTube comments today.
Now, did either one of you ask, and I'm pretty sure Mitch is definitely a no, but Chris, this is more question for you, I guess. Did you ever ask to preview the episode before it went live?
No, because I literally did not give an absolute fuck, because it was no big deal.
Yeah,
like
I couldn't remember anything from the stream.
I didn't remember anything either, but I do remember me and Mitch were raunchy, which is typical of fucking a Valentine's Day stream. It wasn't raunchy, but like for Aussie, it was too raunchy. You know, I have to keep somebody's feelings that I've only talked to 3 times in check. Like, apparently I know this person on a personal level that I have to constantly fucking be aware of. But sure, fuck,
Well, I guess,
fuck me and Mitch, right?
I guess my only thing, the thing that has been raised, that's the only thing that really kind of piqued my interest a little bit is that, and I don't know, because when I looked today to listen to the Valentine's Day stream, I really wanted to hear, because there was a point made that Aussie said that she had put up a boundary and said that she was uncomfortable, and everybody just kept on rolling anyway.
I literally do not remember anything of that, and I even had people watch it back, and they were like, there was no like clear defining line of like, hey, cut this out, and it was like, I want to say like an hour and 30 in, yeah, an hour,
or, you know,
I think it was like an hour and 30 in when Reese called in. That was really the only indication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have both of you listened? Have both of you listened to the Wamen recording episode?
The new one? I haven't. I've listened to a little bit of where they're talking about, not the full bit. I was going to save the reaction for the stream.
Okay,
yeah,
and Chris, how about you?
I've only watched the important parts that I'm aware of. I still think realistically it's a nothing burger, and the reason that I'm here is just to be like, I don't understand why this section was even left in. It was no big deal. You could have just reached out privately. And to be honest, I'm gonna be a little harsh. Grow the fuck up. We're all adults. Grow the fuck up.
I mean, it was a love phones episode, and what do people do when they're in love?
They fucking talk about sex.
No, they
banging. Yeah, they're talking about banging.
Yeah.
Just grow up. Like, what the fuck is this child bullshit?
Well, here's the thing, is that if she's uncomfortable, I'm fine with her being uncomfortable. Like, if she's uncomfortable and there's things that were discussed that crossed a boundary for her, then, and she felt uncomfortable, then it's really on her to really say something and say, hey guys, let's tone it down a little bit, or let's keep this more PG, or, you know, she can make, you know, a joke of something if she wants to tone down the stream, you know, or she can excuse herself. I mean, I'm a big proponent. If you're uncomfortable, do something about it. Don't just sit there in silence and suffer, because it's going to come out. And as evidenced by here, you don't deal with it, it's going to come out one way or another. And you know, obviously this has been gnawing on her, and this has been something that has, you know, obviously taken more than a second glance at for her. So I would really encourage her that next time she, you know, really be grounded and be very clear with herself what's going on. And if she's really uncomfortable, I suggest you do something about it. And that doesn't mean that other people have to change their behavior because you're uncomfortable.
So this is the thing, and I think me and Mitch can agree here, is that if there was an audible, like, I am uncomfortable, can we stop talking about this? I'm pretty sure me and Mitch wouldn't have been dicks and fucking pressed on and just kept doing it from there.
Knowing you both, I don't either. I think you slap Mitch's hand and he'll run a mile away. You know, I mean, you know, it wouldn't take anything at all to be like, okay, let's back it up, boys, or, you know, whatever. But that's on her. I mean, as far as I can tell, all of this is really on people that really need to learn how to manage themselves, you know, more than anything.
Like grow the fuck up. Like, actually, like, grow the fuck up. That this is literally me just saying, grow the ever living fuck up. I don't know you on a personal level to remember what your line is. It would have been nice if you'd been like, hey, I'm a little uncomfortable. I'd be like, okay, no problem. I'll back off. Me and Mitch will chill out. It's no big deal.
That's going to be a donation alert now, that soundbite of you. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, grow the fuck up. Like, actually, there was actually something that I found interesting, because there was a tweet. It goes, so Wamen Recording is doing a crazy love phones of sorts. So crazy love phones. Mitch, what does that imply to you?
We're going to talk about love and Valentine's Day.
What about crazy love phones? Crazy
love phone. Yeah, people trying to pick up.
Yeah. It's almost like that's what it was marketed as. And me, you, Empress Purple, Chanree, we all had a great time just making fucking jokes the whole time. That's really it. Like, I don't understand why it turned into like, well, Chris and Mitch, you know, they should have known better. Excuse me? Known better? I'm fucking sorry that I don't placate to your fucking feelings. More than you,
but yeah, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't.
I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit.
Well, like, I haven't heard any of the stuff. So, Mitch, why don't you go ahead and play some?
Right. I thought we'd start with not the Valentine's stream, not the offending me. I thought we'd listen to them talking about it and then go play some clips from.
That's what I would like to. I would really like to hear exactly what was said.
I like also whoever did the art, fucking Mitch's pizza bites. They're fucking referencing pizzas. That shit is gonna follow me everywhere till I die. All right.
That is so excellent.
The end result afterwards, and whatever happens is it's all on you guys.
Thanks.
but she said, I understood absolutely none of that. Valentine's Day episode. Okay.
So hold on. Is that Hellfire's voice? Mm-hmm. And so she's a guest, and then she just randomly brings up the Valentine's Day stream.
Was that her that brought it up?
I think from what I remember from the Twitter thing last night, that Empress posed it as a questioner about it. I don't know.
Okay.
Supposed to have
I think that's Empress's voice. I heard her this morning.
Valentine's Day, but we didn't. Instead, we had two very inexperienced white men. Actually, I can't really call Mitch inexperienced. We could call Chris inexperienced.
In what, motherfucker?
Oh, chat's going, that's Empress. That was Empress that brought it up. Sorry, I don't know the differences between your voices. I hear women, and I'm just like...
What a sexist.
You all sound the same to me. I don't care.
Typical misogynist.
There's nothing you can say to me that I haven't heard from any other woman before, so you can't hurt me.
With
internal misogyny.
Every itty bit of my body entirely.
Wait, go back. What?
Hang on.
Go back.
Experienced white men. Actually, I can't really call
two inexperienced white men.
We could call Chris inexperienced.
I hate that live stream with every itty bit of my body entirely.
Pause.
Wow.
Why didn't you reach out?
Yeah.
Wow, the simple line of questioning. Why wasn't there like, hey, I was uncomfortable with that?
Really, I was gonna say maybe it didn't bother her that much, but it sounds like it really fucking bothered her.
Yeah, but use logical deduction to this now. Maybe before recording this or doing all this fanfare bullshit, just DM us and say, hey, I was a little uncomfortable. Next time you're on my stream, can you please not do that at that time? And maybe, just maybe, me and Mitch would have been like, okay.
Jay,
but no.
Jay
both of you would have said, "Oh my god, I didn't realize." Absolutely, I'll watch. I'll watch my P's and Q's. I don't see either one of you. I see Chris more than Mitch going, "What are you talking about?" But I don't even see Mitch going, "What are you talking about?" There's nothing wrong with that or whatever. I don't even see much pushback. I think Mitch would have just apologized immediately and went on.
Funniest part, I even apologized at the end. I didn't even need to. I shouldn't have. Yeah. I fucking shouldn't have.
Yeah, we're getting ahead. You do apologize at the end. JFA with the $5 says, it's true. When Chris the Narc brought me back to his place, he had no idea what to do with me.
I can't even get mad at JFA.
Did you meet him? Did he actually go back to your place?
I've never met JFA in my entire life.
No. Keep it that way. All right, let's keep playing.
And it's only still up because I think the others still want it up. So yeah, no, I just...
Yeah, because they probably found it funny.
Yeah, it's almost like everyone had a good time and we were cracking jokes and Chanree talked about getting her ass eaten or whatever the fuck.
Why is it still up? I know they took it down. I know they took it down today.
Yeah.
But why has it been up all these months is my question.
Oh.
If you hate that episode with every fiber of your being.
Well, I don't know. Well, they did take it down yesterday, but if they do take it down during the stream, it won't matter because
I brought backup
just in case they cut my microphone off.
I downloaded them.
I was about to say, Mitch trying to do a big reveal.
Yeah, I did a clip. Sorry, Chris. You should go back rewatch, Chris. It's gonna be so much funnier.
I bet it is.
Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I downloaded them, so it doesn't matter if they fucking private it at this point.
All right, so she's very uncomfortable. Let's hear her out.
No.
It's a good thing I didn't make it to that, because it probably would have gone a lot worse, and it probably would have gotten you guys a lot of attention you didn't want. Because the other thing about me is I don't put up with anybody's bullshit. If you're pissing me,
how was
you're
jokes
making
bullshit?
people uncomfortable, I'm gonna call you out about it. They would not have liked me calling them out.
Pause.
Like I said.
Pause. Horror. Listen. I like you. I do. I like you. No, I wouldn't have given a shit. I said horror.
Oh,
and
horror. I thought you were like horror.
Horror. HH. Whatever. I'll go HH. HH. Listen, I like you. I really do. But
yeah, I do too. She's always been good to me. Yeah.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you here. If you started screaming and fucking yelling at me, that conversation would have gone completely different than what you're thinking in your head. Second, all you had to do was be like, hey, this is a little inappropriate, but nobody said that at all. So please, shut the fuck up. Shut the absolute fuck up. I'm being honest here. I'm burning some bridges today. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, fucking get the flamethrowers out like Vietnam. Chanree in the chat is saying that she didn't know that it was privated. I'm pretty sure when I woke up this morning and I got out my phone, I looked for the live and this new app. I'm fairly certain they weren't there. I think someone else also was like,
I did
it's gone.
too. I looked as well, and I didn't find it.
But by the time we went live, they were back, which was great.
Right.
It's so much easier.
Mitch, we should have learned how to read minds. Like, we really should have.
We'd get so much more pussy that way. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have made that joke.
Sorry. Oh God, you said pussy. I'm offended. I need you to write.
All right, let's hear them out.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a joke. That's actually what would happen if we had the power to read minds.
Earlier, I told the girls a little bit about the history with the whole issue of last year. You're more, you were more able to be more outspoken and go stop. More than I was. I worded that so fucking wrong.
You didn't feel comfortable standing up for yourself against somebody who was making you uncomfortable and didn't get the hint when you told them no. I am more than happy to do that if somebody is uncomfortable and they don't feel they can do that on their own. I am of strong character and have strong backbone. Not saying that you're not, but I have got the experience to where I don't put up with it. And it's not right to make people feel uncomfortable just because it makes you laugh. And it tells me a lot about your level of awareness and maturity. If somebody is very clearly uncomfortable and you don't pick up on it, and not only do you not pick up on it, but you continue to do
I've gotta fucking see. I've got to see the stream, because the case she's making is that it was you would have to be socially unaware, which sometimes Mitch can be. Sometimes he can be socially too aware, which makes it a whole different problem. I don't know so much about Chris, but they're making the case that it was abundantly clear to anyone that could see that you were making someone uncomfortable, and they were uncomfortable.
I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Is that the case?
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to do an Alex Jones here. I'm kind of retarded. I need to be told. Tell me.
Yeah.
Fucking tell me. It's no good just ignoring it and then telling me after, oh, actually, you just violated me audibly.
But I mean, in
Tell
general,
me when it's in process, not 3 months later.
If you were to be an onlooker, or at least in the conversation context of itself, can you look back and go, yeah, I missed some of those clues. Like now that I can think about it and
How can
really
I
give
tell
it
what
some
somebody's
introspection.
feeling? How can I tell what somebody's feeling without looking at their face or anything over a fucking Discord
That's
call
what I'm
where I
saying.
never hold on, let me finish.
Were there
Then there's the
clues?
additional aspect where there wasn't really a lot of cluing because everyone was playing around. Everyone was fucking joking. Aussie was playing the role like Xylee does. We assume that Xylee does, where we say fucked up shit, and Xylee's like, "No, stop that." You know what I mean? Like we.
Thank you for the
that
20,
is the
Xylee.
inclination that we did. Yeah,
She says down with
that's
the
how we felt about
patriarchy
it.
while giving money to a guy.
Down with the patriarchy. Yeah. But like, how am I supposed to fucking know? Am I supposed to read your fucking mind through the screen? No.
Well, no, you're not. And sometimes there are glaringly obvious clues that you're going beyond somebody's comfortable boundaries. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, again, I would have to listen to the episode to hear if I could pick up on anything. I mean, again, Mitch is kind of retarded with that stuff. Oh God, I can't say that word anymore. Okay, I apologize for saying the R word.
Say it.
Yeah,
I literally brought up the definition in a video the other day on screen and read it.
You could say retarded if you just blame it on coke withdrawals. Keffel's taught me that.
Well, there you go. All right. So, I mean, I think you were sometimes socially awkward, Mitch, and, we both agree on that. But I think if it was glaringly obvious, I think Mitch would have probably caught on. And B, it's really on you to say something. I mean, or if you can't say something and the other person has said, listen, I'm really good at confronting things. Just if you're uncomfortable, tell me and I'll address it for you. I mean, that's the takeaway is that, Aussie, if you don't feel comfortable saying something, obviously your co-host,
vocalize it.
Feels fine with vocalizing it. So if you don't feel comfortable saying it out loud or whatever, you can even shoot her a message. She has obviously volunteered for that role. So, I invite you to take her up on her offer if she feels comfortable doing that for you. I mean, then that's a conversation between the two of you. But something really needed to be vocalized. You can't always count on people to get the social cues.
Yeah.
Also,
because
first off, why is it made?
Your threshold is totally different than my threshold. My threshold of shit is totally different than your threshold of shit. And Chris's is different and Mitch's is different. Everybody has a different threshold. You can't go around assuming that other people know yours.
Mm-hmm. Then there's the other aspect that I kind of find frustrating, that it's made out to sound like we were purposely pushing the boundaries. Like the way that the conversation's flowing is like, well, they kept going and kept doing it like we knew what was going on. No, we didn't. We were fucking dicking around in a voice call on a live stream.
That was not the case. Okay, all right.
No,
so I wanted to get that clarified.
If somebody raised it and said, "Hey, Aussie's not really comfortable with this. Can we chill out a little bit?" Done. Easy. Simple. Would have backed off right after that. But no, there was this whole additional aspect now being floated out there that me and Mitch just refused to pick up on the social cues. Not that we didn't, it was refused, and that we needed to be confronted on it if horror and Hellfire was there.
Yeah. Okay, that's the narrative. Okay, got it.
That's how it comes across.
Well, I don't know if it comes across exactly like that. It just sounds like that you guys heard that there was uncomfortability and you guys kept on going anyway. That's the way it sounds like to me.
Didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. And, hey, everybody.
Hey, Max.
Hey, DMax. Welcome.
Hey.
Hi.
Sorry, it's just because there was a point later on. I think you kind of mentioned it, Chris, a little earlier in the stream. You said there was a point where Chanree had brought up booty licking or whatever.
Yeah.
And
we got a
that was, I think,
for that.
the moment. Yeah, and we'll get the timestamp for that. But that'll be actually the moment, I think, where the entire call realized and understood that Aussie actually was upset by that, because she kind of put her foot down. She said, "This is my podcast. You guys can't do this on this thing." And I think from that moment on, like an hour into the stream, I think after that, you guys chilled out. and weren't making quite as crass of comments. So there definitely was a moment where it's like that was realized, and I think that was kind of, you know.
I don't listen
Honestly,
half the time, though.
Honestly, I just thought it's how Xylee does it. Honestly, because I'm used to being in calls with Xylee where she's like, "Guys, come on, guys, stop it." You know,
Well,
I swear to God,
it's a good bit to do, and it's a good way to mitigate the issue of like if you have a problem with raunchier jokes, you can just, "Oh, guys, you're being too much, you're going over the top," and then you move on, right? But you can't be, So,
but it's not like me and Mitch were purposely pushing the boundaries of what was considered to be over the top on purpose.
Yeah,
you know, like that's the part.
We could have gone so much further.
Oh my God, me and Mitch could have been way fucking worse.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys could have been.
We were tame. To be honest, me and Mitch were pretty tame.
Yeah,
if I'm being perfectly honest.
Too is that anybody who's watched that stream just says that you guys were. It was like a really tame stream, which I think it was.
Yeah,
I think like the raunchier stuff was honestly said by the Wamen. No offense, guys, but it's true.
Yeah,
thank you.
I've done way worse shit. Like try harder.
Let's hear them out.
Yeah.
Making them uncomfortable.
So yeah, like that one time that like I screamed at Ghosty, telling him to like shut the fuck up. If Hellfire was there, she would have done it a lot sooner than me. It takes me a while to get to that point where I'm like, fuck it, enough's enough.
Yeah, I watching that, and you probably saw it in the chat. I was very upset.
To be honest, I was not looking at the chat
Some
at
of the
all.
stuff that was
I was too busy trying not to.
I think
like,
Empress saw it. If you looked at it,
I was
back,
too busy trying to I don't know, not panic because I was getting really overwhelmed.
Not listen to Ghosty talk about whatever
was...
the hell he wants.
Well, it wasn't just him. It wasn't just him,
it wasn't
though.
just him.
Like, I like Reese, but Reese took it too far. I like Mitch, but Mitch took it too far, in my opinion. And I could hear it in your guys' voices when you did speak up. You were quiet for the majority of that.
That's like knowing the lotto numbers after the lottery's been drawn. Like, I know the numbers.
Who was that talking?
That was Horror and Hellfire.
Yeah.
That was really.
Yeah. Yeah, which, by the way, I mean, you guys will find this out, but Horror and Hellfire pretty much just threw everybody under the bus and ran away. So that's
wow.
Lol.
Lol. And then when you
what do you hold on, wait, what do you mean threw everybody in the bus and then ran away? What happened?
Because this came out, and then on Twitter, when everybody started giving heat, she just went like, well, that's just my opinion, but I didn't bring it up. It was Aussie that brought it up, and then like that was it. And it was like, really? Like that's what you're gonna go with?
Wait, in this episode she brought it up?
Yeah. She said on Twitter that because everybody was saying you're the one that brought it up, and then she said, I didn't even bring it up. It wasn't me. It was the Wamen that brought it up. It was Aussie that brought it up. I'll see if I can find that.
I think it was Empress. I think it was actually Empress
see, okay, so this is a little bit of context too, because I did ask about this. So the way that I understand that went was that they were trying to put together a docket for the show. They knew that they were going to have Horror and Hellfire on. Empress was building the docket, so I believe they had a separate conversation, or maybe they were in a VC just chatting, and then this came up, and they were like, okay, what do you want to talk about? And Horror and Hellfire, I guess, told Empress, to my understanding, that she did want to talk about the Valentine's Day stream, but the way that it was brought up, and I think she talked about this on PeePaw like this, was that she wanted to critique their advice, or critique your guys' advice, right?
Where we were just cracking jokes and not taking it seriously whatsoever.
Yeah.
How can you critique jokes?
I don't know.
That's my question to them. How do you critique jokes?
So on the docket was to critique the boys' suggestions.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe because I don't know how long they lingered on that. It probably was just another thing to throw on the docket and another. So Horror and Hellfire is saying that Empress and the Wamen put that on the docket to talk about, like they brought it up. But it's like, I don't know, that's kind of ambiguous. It's like if somebody's asking you, what do you want to talk about on the show? And then you tell them, I would like to talk about this. And then they go, okay. And then they put it in the docket. Is it really them who brought it up? You know?
Well, I guess my question, well, I can kind of see with the way the conversation unrolled, though. I can see how, because Aussie is one of the first ones to say, I hate that video with every fiber of my being. and she's the one that directs it to it being an awful stream.
I'm with Chanree, by the way, in the chat. She says, "I love jokes. Give me my dark humor back." I agree, Chanree.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
perfect segue. Hey, Mitch, I need you to pull up some things.
Yeah, I'm just getting that ready now. Guys, don't look at the screen yet.
Okay.
I gotta get these ready.
Don't look at the screen because it's funny that this is all like taboo, right? Where we're making like pussy jokes and sex jokes and sexual jokes, and we need to be critiqued for what we say, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to point to the evidence that Mitch is about to bring up on screen to everybody. Listen, I normally don't do this kind of shit, but realistically, I just need to make a point that this is the dumbest fucking drama of all time.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't really care today. You caught me on a bad day, guys. I'll be honest with you.
So just to remind everybody, Aussie doesn't like the sexual jokes. That's the context here.
Exactly. So let's.
You may now look at the screen.
Yeah, let's point to Exhibit A.
Exhibit
of
A.
Aussie not like it. Not liking sexual joke.
My pussy for everyone to see.
She did that on the first of the new year.
Horror. Gasp
God.
even.
Gasp. Oh my god, I'm offended. What's the next one, Mitch?
Nice pussy.
Daddy, you need a puffer.
Oh.
What's the context of that one?
I was taken aback by that. I literally did not. I was literally in character, and that took me aback. I was like, I don't know how to respond to this because
what's
the whole
a puffer?
Yeah.
My Christian sensibilities are being destroyed as we speak.
A puffer.
Mitch, move on to the next
someone
one.
tell me what the fuck a puffer is?
A puffer is for what asthmatics use. You know that little like puff, that thing they puff in their face.
You mean an inhaler?
An inhaler. Yeah, it's a puffer.
I mean,
Let's move on to the next piece of evidence, please.
Why is your lawyer and your Twitter representative British? Fucking you. Aussie says everyone can't help but fall for those sexy British accents, so I'ma be sued so bad now.
Oh, so now you're making sexual objects of the British. Next piece of evidence, please.
And our
Mitch.
last piece, the piece of resistance. I put the sexy in dyslexic.
And my case rests. I'm done.
Was that Liana though? Because someone did say, did Liana? Oh, no, Liana was not with her on that date. No. Oh,
yeah.
Where are they?
I mean, Aussie did say. I mean, Aussie said in that she said, "I wish."
Did
Liana?
But was Liana also still posing as her and said, "I wish"?
Yeah.
I rest my case. I win. I take back my apology. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I've received some. I mean, there's been some sexual comments just all around. It happens, It's that's the thing too. I mean, you guys said it before, but it was a Valentine's Day stream, and it was love phones on a commentary community stream. It's like you start adding on all of these layers of this, and it's like, I mean, was it really unfounded that there was going to be sexual comments made?
Well, and bringing to who brought it up and who actually really brought it up or whatever. I think the conversation probably went in a direction everybody wasn't expecting, or else maybe they did expect it. Maybe they talked about how they were. I mean, if you're saying that Empress and Horror, if I'm understanding you correctly, Empress and Horror went over the docket information of what was on the show, what was going to be brought up on the show.
Yeah.
Was Aussie aware that Valentine's show was going to come up? Beyond just a bullet point. Beyond just a bullet point.
I don't know, because I think Empress, like per what she said on PeePaw stream this morning, I believe Empress, and I think I'm right, but I'm pretty sure she said that she was just under the impression that Hellfire just wanted to critique like literally what was said, like just not whatever I don't think she understood the context that they were going to be talking about the fact that they were making jokes.
See, I think this is a conversation that just happened just out of, I think it just, because the very beginning of it, Aussie brings up how she absolutely can't stand that episode, and it goes in that direction. It may very well have been on the docket to just have a conversation about, critiquing, whatever. But it sounds like Aussie has really been sitting on this, or she really had something to say about it, and it went in that direction.
All I'm saying is that Horror and Hellfire had the problem, and she created an issue for Wamen recording.
Well, her problem was the advice that the boys gave, right? Apparently, or supposedly.
Well, yeah, actually, that's why I actually am here, is because the person that they keep on talking about who gave Aussie the advice not to talk about this publicly was me.
Yeah.
She asked me, because she came to me, we were having a conversation, I think just about, like, just normally, because we were just, chatting in VCs, whatever, because I was a part of Women and all that. And we would talk from time to time. And she asked me, or she basically, the way it came off to me at the time was that she was venting about this and saying, like that made me uncomfortable and whatever. And it was a postmortem because I think it happened like a couple days later. Like it wasn't like the next day.
I was going to say, how long ago was it?
I don't remember. I didn't look at the DMs. I could go back and like get a timeline, but from my recollection, from my memory, I believe it was like either 2 days after or something like that. So it was some time had passed. And she asked me, she basically said, like, do you think, like, I think she did ask me something to the idea of like, do you think that I should talk about this publicly? Do you think I should like say anything about it? Whatever. And then I told her.
Did you ever ask her if she talked to either of the boys?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that might have been part of the conversation was her asking me pretty much if she should bring it up with the boys. And I said, I think what I said to her was, Aussie, I don't, like, respectfully, I am sorry that you were uncomfortable. But I don't think this is that big of a deal. And I don't like, it's like, and then that's when I said, I think you should have expected this given that it was Mitch and Chris, like on a Valentine's
Well, you can't say
Day
that
stream,
though. You're not allowed to say that she should have
commentary
expected
stream.
it. How dare
I mean,
you?
but that's the thing is like, I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that to be like talking down to her or misogynistic or trying to silence her as I've heard some people describe it.
Yeah.
I was literally just trying to give her advice that if she came out with this and started talking about it publicly, it would not be received well. Like
Right.
she had she's a grown ass adult. She can do whatever the hell she wants. And she ended up bringing it up. But what I was saying was that like, if you bring this up, there might be consequences associated with that because I don't think other people are going to share her perspective on it. And look where we are.
So I'm sorry, did you answer my question about if you ever advised her to go to Mitch and Chris directly?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not, because I don't believe I did, because I don't remember I don't remember the specific context of the conversation if she was asking about bringing it up publicly or talking specifically to both of them about it. But if she had asked me if she should go to the other guys, I probably would have said something along the lines of, you can if you really want to, but I personally would not because I don't think they have anything to apologize for. I thought that then and I think that now.
Okay.
I just want to take this moment to apologize to Niall for the stream we did in January. Again, for like the 4th time now.
Aw, poor Niall.
Yeah. That's a stream I'm sorry for.
I am never sorry for anything.
No.
No,
I'm
joking.
I can see.
I have to clarify because people can't tell if I'm joking or not, and it's apparently a serious fucking critique. Excuse me.
I can see where
joking.
you're coming from, DMax, completely. I can that makes logical sense to me. I wouldn't approach it that way, but the way you did makes sense.
Yeah, and like I said, this is off the cuff. This was not brought up as a huge big deal that she was like soul crushed over. It was like, frankly, I mean, because I was uncomfortable on that stream too, and it was because I was producing for one of the first times ever. There was like a whole snafu trying to get this stream to happen anyway because there were reschedules and stuff like that, which I'm not laying at the feet of anybody. It was just, normal scheduling problems. Some people live in Australia, some people live in
shit happens.
Canada, whatever. It's like you say a specific time and then it's an hour difference because there's fucking time zones and then there's daylight savings on top of that too. So it's like we were having problems like that. And I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that we didn't even know, like because I was producing that show, we didn't even know if we were going to have Mitch or Chris on until like 5 to 10 minutes before. Because Chris, weren't you doing like a 24-hour stream or something?
Yes, I was in the middle of it.
Ruin Leon did a donation to you or something to do that, right?
Yeah, I was in the middle of literally a 24-hour stream, and I was like, all right, I'll come on. Because when people invite me onto their shows, usually I'm okay with it. I've pulled back a lot more on it because I'm focusing on myself more.
Sure.
But
Hang on.
if somebody offers, I'm not going to decline it, especially if it's, some people that are, I guess, cool. I wouldn't call friends because I don't know these fucking people on a personal level. This whole word of friends needs to fucking be reevaluated in this community. It's Discord people.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What do you mean, Max, that you didn't know until 10 minutes before if we were going to be on? I was asked to go on their stream, or I think it was an episode even, a month in advance, and then it ended up being the Valentine stream.
What I mean is that like the scheduling for that was kind of slapdash, and what I'm saying is that like at least for me, I didn't because we knew what the date was, I think like a week out or whatever, but I remember something like we weren't sure. Maybe it was just Chris. Like maybe we thought. I think maybe that's what it was. Is that we knew we knew you were gonna be there, but we didn't know that Chris was gonna be there, or we weren't sure because he was doing a stream. So it was kind of like a cluster just to get there.
Yeah,
is what I mean. That's all I mean to say by that.
I think there's just a couple more minutes of this, and then we've got clips.
Okay, let's hear them out.
Yeah.
Get it. And they just kind of kept playing off of each other or playing off of somebody else, and it was just not good. It was not good.
It was
like,
fucking jokes.
I'm so glad I wasn't there. Because I would have been a bitch. I would have been another
I probably would have been cheering you on and was like, thank you! Will someone just make them shut up, please?
It's your stream! You had the opportunity to do that!
Dude, this is. I'm putting a nice bow on this. This is retarded. This whole argumentative point is retarded. I will tell you to your face, you're retarded. And if you think I'm being really fucking harsh, I don't care. You're retarded. That's it. Done. Simple. Clean.
I've already said multiple times, I am not comfortable. This is my podcast. Please stop. Yeah, no. So to be honest,
multiple times.
I'm sorry. I said multiple times.
No, she didn't.
Nope. No, she didn't.
I said multiple times.
Maybe
this
in a head.
is my podcast. Please stop.
Maybe in a head.
I mean, to complain about. Yeah. Would have seen my middle finger, because I was not comfortable at all.
Actually, talking about that, and I don't mean to bring this up as a conflict or anything, but has anybody come and apologized?
That's Adam in the chat. Dude, if my friend was there, I would have totally beat you up.
Yeah, that's literally what it comes. Hold on, I want to hear this part. This is my favorite part, personally.
You at all? I feel bad because I also partly played into that, and I feel really bad. I am sorry about that. I don't know if I've actually said that or not, but I helped play in that, and I feel really bad about that.
Right.
Not as much.
No, definitely not as much as them. I'm okay with overly sexual talk to a certain limit, right? I can be playful, I can be a little bit flirty, but when it gets up to the full on hardcore stuff, what I consider hardcore stuff because of the way I was raised.
Pause.
I get uncomfortable.
Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up.
The way
be an adult. Grow the fuck up. Sorry. I went to Catholic school. Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up.
There it is right there with the way I was raised. And I think everyone goes through this at some point in their 20s. You're raised a certain way, you're in an environment, and then you get unleashed onto the world, and you find out that there's other environments that aren't like the one that you grew up in. And sometimes it can be very shocking.
People have, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's I think I call it culture shock.
Yeah.
I think it's a culture shock for people. I think that they run into other, people's belief systems, and they run into other people's thresholds.
Yeah.
And they realize that the world is a very, very big place, and people live in very different realities sometimes. And, people have different thresholds. I was just going to ask, how old is she? She's going to be in her very early 20s.
22.
Yeah, 22. Okay, well,
at 22 and you still have this closed off of a fucking mind? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're a grown
it varies
fucking
for people.
adult.
It varies.
No, I don't. For me, you're a grown fucking adult. Learn what the rest of the world's doing. Don't push your bullshit onto others, and respect that. And if they are uncomfortable and they tell you they're uncomfortable. You, as the other person, need to respect that. But they're playing it off like me and Mitch needed to fucking know Aussie's boundaries. Mitch knows more than I do. Why the fuck should I? How the fuck was I supposed to know? Nor should I really give a fuck. I was on a live stream. We were making jokes.
Yeah, my thing is too that you guys were guests. You know, I mean, I think that there's some onus on the host to try to meet a guest halfway.
It's her stream. It's her fucking. If you were really that uncomfortable, and it was that noticeable to horror, HH, I mean, if it was that, noticeable, I don't understand why you didn't call a stop to it. I don't understand.
There's a way to do it, right? Because, like, I mean, if it was getting that out of hand, I mean, there is that thing that, we do from time to time when we're on streams and we don't want to say something out loud. You DM the person. You go, hey, can you tone it down a little bit? Like, even if you don't want it to be displayed fully, there are ways to be able to go around that. But, I don't know, that didn't happen. It's just unfortunate because, like, I still, to this day, don't know what the boundaries are. I don't know where the line is. It's like, because she just said it. Like, she said that she's okay with some sexual comments. Where is too much? What is the line? Yeah. Because, I mean, people were talking about pussies saying they were boxes. It's like, and that was Wamen. That was Wamen that were doing it. Yeah. Like it's like, so, like, wait, okay, so that's acceptable. But then when Reese talks about taking a picture of their butthole, like, that's too far. It's like, okay, what? It's like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't get that. Like, that if there is a line there and it's, like, apparent to somebody, it's not apparent to me.
Okay, gotcha.
Is that all there is to this clip, this video here?
That I'm aware of.
They might go into...
Run it for a couple more seconds and let's see.
At the end of the day, I need to emphasize me and Mitch would have been respectful if something was brought the fuck up. That's it. That's all it needs to be. But instead, this is some gay fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think I've said it today on this stream, but I said it on PeePaws last night. There's been 2 instances, and not naming names because that's not the point, but where people have come to me and said, "Look, listen, I'm uncomfortable with these jokes. Can you stop?" And I've fucking stopped. I've gone out of my way to try and remember, and if I ever do make those jokes again, it's an honest mistake.
Yes, because you have respectability and you respect someone's boundaries when they are vocal about it.
Yeah.
If you are not vocal about it, how is somebody going to be able to find where your line is?
Yeah.
Talking about all that sort of stuff is that...
Oh, just want to point out as well, in case anyone's out there ends up in this situation, my line is, don't ever put anything in my butt. That's my line, okay? Just wanted to vocalize that while we're there.
I agree.
Thank you.
I think this is a huge learning experience. And I think this is a huge learning experience for her. I don't wanna jump on her too much. I think it's a huge learning experience for HH. I think it's a huge learning experience for Empress.
I don't want to jump down Aussie's throat because I know that she's feeling the burn right now. But again, Hellfire, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
I really don't care. Like, I'm being perfectly honest with you guys. You don't do this bullshit and then think, oh, I'm stressing out. Oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're stressing out. I'll tell you to your face that you're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Aussie's my friend, but I understand.
Bless her heart.
Oh, thank you for subscribing, Suicidal Sloth.
No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't you. It definitely wasn't you. It was my best friend actually. Yeah, no, that's like no one's actually come to apologize. I've been basically told that I should have known better. Because I had those people on.
Yeah, we didn't come to apologize because we didn't know.
I was just been told I should have known better. I'm like, well, yeah.
By who? By who, Aussie? You're making it sound like me and Mitch did that to you.
Like that answer.
Here is what the only thing that I would say that is a critique, and I think it's fair, and I think it's the same thing I kind of said to Empress after seeing that, because I know I reached out to her afterwards, and I was like, "Girl, what the fuck?"
There were words. There were a lot of words.
I spoke my mind because I was very upset with how that went. Mostly because I felt bad for you guys, especially Aussie, because I knew for a fact, I could tell you were uncomfortable. And that was, I don't have any problems with these people.
I feel bad for
like
Aussie because you threw her under the bus.
But I don't appreciate when you just don't pick up on somebody saying they're comfortable, or even when they are communicating they're uncomfortable, you just don't care, or you
Pause.
Just throw it to the side.
I definitely care.
Oh, we don't care. Oh, didn't we just say if Aussie said something we would have stopped? Oh, so that whole fucking line of reasoning gets blown out of the water. Are you retarded? Are you actually retarded?
It's bullshit assumptions based on nothing.
You're you're a fucking idiot if you think that's what me and Mitch would do. I know I'm being harsh, but you're a fucking idiot.
I don't
like
want to be too
actually.
harsh.
I'll be fucking harsh. I'll be the bad cop.
I nearly
Maybe the
messaged
good
her
cop,
this
Mitch.
morning. Like, I nearly copy-pasted her message about the warning, the heads up about the episode. I nearly did that for this stream, but I was like, nah, that's too far. That's too harsh. And she already knows that the stream's happening anyway, so it would be very obvious it would just be a middle finger.
I'm kind of over here, to be honest, in shock, because I did not expect this coming from HH. And it really, to me, this is just my perception, not knowing, just knowing very little about the situation and being told things, is this really looks like she's stroking the fire. But really
remember,
looks
she's
like,
not a commentary person. She's ex-commentary, everybody, so she's not a part of this whole thing. She doesn't like the drama stuff.
Yeah, I'm really just in shock at how much she's really leaning into it.
That's a real common theme for people that say they've left the commentary community. They're like, oh, I don't like the drama. And then they go and fucking talk about drama. Who else has done that?
It's weird how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, it's so fucking weird. It's like these people can't actually leave, and they're a bunch of they're a bunch of bullshit artists.
The only thing that I would say is that, and I said it to Empress, is that you guys need somebody that is more straightforward.
This is her pitching herself
and
for
is
the podcast
more
now.
willing to like steer the ship in certain ways, and is more okay with being upfront with what they're feeling about. Because if you tell them flat out, I am uncomfortable. You're making me uncomfortable. If you do not stop, I am kicking you out. If you don't do that with some people, they aren't going to learn. And if you do that and they still continue to do what they're doing that makes you uncomfortable, it's all on them. There is no way that there is anybody that could say anything towards you about not doing the right
It's not a crime to make people uncomfortable.
Then you kick them.
Is it against the law?
Then you've given them a warning, and then you kick them if they cross the fucking line. But you have to give them. You have to tell them something.
They're making it sound like and this is my interpretation of it, right? And how it's being projected. It sounds like, oh, Mitch and Chris just didn't respect the boundaries, and they pushed it and harassed. They pushed it. Fuck you in the way that you're framing this. Anyone who thinks that me and Mitch harassed anybody during that live stream are fucking idiots. And there are some people in the chat that I could specifically call out, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. You're retarded. You're an absolute fucking degenerate retard.
Is that it for the clip? Should we move on to the other stuff?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm just in shock that HH is really just seems like she's really stroking the fire.
Yeah, so this is, that's where it started, right? Or that's like, I guess that's the how it's going thing. Now we're going to see the how it started part of it.
Yeah,
which is
let's
not
do
good.
that.
Yeah. And again, why it's exactly the reason why I said that this shouldn't be talked about, and why I advised her and Wamen, for that matter.
Oh, thanks
to
for subscribing.
Not talk about this.
Hey, Matt, welcome.
Hi, hello, my children. Look,
Hi.
There's a lot going on. And
I'm not your child.
When the Valentine's Day stream happening, or about to react to, I feel like we need to replenish our sin. We need to push this sin out. So if you don't mind, just a moment of silence while I lead all of you in prayer.
Hail Satan. Hail Satan. Hail Satan. Hail Satan.
All right. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed thou in the fruit of thy womb. Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Behold the handmaid of the Lord, be it done unto me according to thy word from the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Hey, Macarena, it's Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
God bless you, my
chat. Hey, chat, can we get a Hail Satan to counteract that? Can we get a Hail Satan in chat to like level this bullshit out, please?
Punk, Matt.
I do need a joy.
Punk and a pussy.
I have to go, by the way. I'm gonna be doing D&D with some people. So my final thoughts on this: grow the fuck up. Quit quivering. You should have DM'd me. I would have respected it, but now I have zero respect, and you can piss off.
Okay, everyone. Chris the Narc, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he didn't even plug his shit.
Yeah, well, you can find Chris the Narc on the internet.
Find Chris the Narc at the Keemstar Show. All right, that's it.
At the the best episodes of the Keemstar Show.
Yes, well, that's true. Yeah.
You can find him here, and I'll put that link in the chat.
Chris the Narc on YouTube.
I'm pretty sure everyone here already subscribes to him, but just in case.
And I think he's Chris the Narc on Twitter as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag good guy Chris.
Yeah.
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 Great. So.
So I don't think that apology went all that well.
Yeah. So now we got a bunch of clips that Matt has compiled. Which one do we start with first? I don't know where to start. I don't know whether to go chronologically.
I wish he were here to help us.
Yeah, I wish Matt were here.
The shit he sent. I wish he were actually useful when he comes into the goddamn stream.
I mean, I've got them time coded as well. I took them and made notes, but
yeah, but just go to the earliest.
I need my dad. I need my daddy.
Oh, take off the training wheels and go.
All right, let's just go chronologically. All right.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Where the fuck is it? Here it is. At this moment, we've got someone asks me to be respectful, and I give them an answer.
Okay.
We still have some really crazy.
Yeah, so I'm done with my story. I'm sorry, guys. You have to go through
I'll let
this,
one of the
but
guests go before
I'm not.
Okay.
painted
The
terrible.
guest. Okay. Let me think. I don't really have anything
What did he smell like?
crazy.
Mitch. What? It's like every call I'm in recently, everyone's like, what did they smell like? It's like, what is this question that's happening in my life? I can't escape a fucking call without someone saying, oh, what do they smell like?
Wow. You stop, Mitch. Just be respectful.
No.
Yes.
Now, I said that to Chris. I said that to a guy. What did they smell like? That was not directed at any of the women on the show. Next one we got.
To be honest, I didn't really understand that moment either. Like when it happened live.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know. I don't even, because I didn't understand why Aussie was getting bent out of shape about that, because it was just like, that was not a crass comment. You were just saying something about smell.
Yeah.
It's like, and as far as I knew too, at that time, I thought that was just a meme from Chris's channel or something. So I was like, I don't know.
So I'm just gonna play all these as they happen chronologically. I'm not gonna put them by type.
Okay.
So what you're gonna hear is sometimes
I'm gonna say she did technically say that you crossed a boundary, and you said I'm not gonna stop, and she didn't do anything about it. So
True.
Sweetheart, I'm sorry, but you know.
That's the thing, is what is the boundary even? It's like smell.
Yeah.
So smell is off limits. Like I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I gotta turn my mic up. Somebody's.
Thank you, Abby Blackbird. Oh shit, I can't read all that in time. Don't you know what you know? If you know, we know. If you know, we know. You should know that you should know. If they know, because you should know that they don't care that you know. Duh.
True.
Thank you, Abby Blackbird. So yeah, you're gonna hear some clips of myself and Chris where we think they might have been offended, but there's also clips of them making sexual jokes too, and those are okay for some reason. 2910.
Well, this is this is 24 minutes in.
Yeah, that's 24 minutes in.
That interaction is like give or take, 23 minutes in. So at 23 minutes in, if Mitch crossed a boundary and you asked him to stop, whatever that means, stop doing whatever that means or whatever, and it was his, it was his free will to say yes or no. He blatantly told you, no, I'm gonna continue doing whatever. And you continue having him on. You only have yourself to thank. I don't understand.
Should we bring Rum and PeePaw in? I just saw them in waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now it's an even Steven panel. We now have 2 guys, 2 girls, and a gay dude as the counterbalance.
What?
Wait, is that a joke or not? You guys got to stop fucking telling me shit's true when it's not.
I'm slightly gay. I don't know who's the gay counter.
Well, that's
what I was gonna say. Is PeePaw's 15%? I'm the gay filmmaker. I mean, Rum's here.
I'm at least like 75% gay.
There's no such thing as gay women, only lesbians.
I am as well. True. So I got to be counted in that too.
Oh god damn it!
Oh my god!
Well, there you go.
Are you
so
sure
we're all
you
gay.
didn't
Everybody
just
gay.
Well, seeing as you guys have all come out, I thought I'd
Mitch,
take
do you
this
suck
moment.
dick?
No.
Are you sure? Would you like to suck mine?
You don't have one.
Would you like to find out?
Sure.
Okay.
Why are you making such sexual remarks, Rum? Jesus.
Yeah,
this is a
Rum.
Christian. We literally just did a prayer. What the fuck?
I feel very uncomfortable.
Now we got to redo the prayer.
Call Matt back in. I'll tell him I worship the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost all at the same time. I'll show him how.
Matt's all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you gonna say something?
I was expecting. Hi. I was not expecting. I am now expecting Mitch. I demand at least a little bit of child support. This is your fault. But hi, hello. How are you? What are you guys doing?
We're just going over some clips.
Give me a second.
Were you watching the stream? You're in wait. You were sitting in waiting.
Well,
I assumed that you were on the page that we're on.
You dragged me in, and I wasn't expecting it.
You should when you're sitting and waiting.
Would you like a minute? Hold on. Would you like a minute so that you can gather your thoughts and whatever, and we'll go see how PeePaw is doing, and we'll come back to you.
Yeah, I would like that. I gotta mute the stream and tune into the chair.
No problem whatsoever. PeePaw, how the hell are you?
I'm fine. I just want everyone to know that I've had sex in public, and it was a good thing.
Oh, today?
God damn it!
Today, PeePaw?
No, I quit doing that a long time ago.
PeePaw, was it before or after the original release of Star Wars?
It was after the original release of Star Wars.
I feel like it was easy to get away with things before people could see in color. But also,
did you use the Force?
There was some Force involved, yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm so angry.
Oh, God.
I hate it here.
Okay.
I step off my front porch to
me.
enjoy the early quiet morning dew, and then all I hear is Winky in the wind and cheeks clapping in the wild. I'm upset.
You're upset. I just realized that I actually have a resentment that I gotta bring up with PeePaw.
PeePaw's out here getting laid, and he's older than all of us.
Speaking of resentments out of nowhere, PeePaw, I would like to ask you seriously, and this is not a loaded question. Who is it that when I play everyone, who is it that generally, give or take, wins?
What do you mean you play everyone? What do you mean?
Is this poker?
Yes,
play
poker.
everyone as in
play poker. In poker, I'm sorry. Yeah, in poker.
I thought you were just a player.
I'll say this. I have played poker with Miss Paradox. She is a card shark. I'm not so sure she doesn't cheat a little bit.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Time out. Okay.
Why the fuck are we talking about poker now?
Just that. Okay, because this is
Poker,
my resentment.
I hardly know her.
Okay. This is my resentment. Okay. So why is it that I hear on the stream the other morning as I'm getting ready, I hear on the stream about how all of these players are so good in the poker realm of the poker club, and I don't hear my name mentioned, not a once.
Mm-hmm. Well, those people were there in front of me, and I have the attention span of a goldfish, so that's probably why. So.
Okay, I see.
No, you know what? I wouldn't listen to him. This old man, he's nothing but a nuisance and an evil and a fraud. He did that on purpose. He's slighting you, and you should 100% take it personal because he means it to be personal.
Well, it's kept me up, DMax. It has kept me up. I have to be honest. It has really weighed.
Did it happen 2 months ago? Did it happen 3 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck me. I think it happened a couple days ago. I don't remember.
I want to address something. I know there's been this, people are questioning whether or not Max is truly a ghost or not. I can tell you right now, since he didn't send me nudes in DM unsolicited, there's definitely something that is not there.
I gave you that in confidence, PeePaw. I can't believe that you're talking about this right now. What the hell? This is so out of pocket. I mean, so is my cock, but that's fair enough. Okay.
I'm sorry. I think I probably have disrailed Mitch's stream enough. I apologize, Mitch.
That's okay.
Keep derailing it. Keep going.
Yeah, we got Jessica Pizzle and Chanree in the waiting room. I'm wondering, do we go through these clips and then get everybody in?
No,
let's go through some clips.
Yeah.
Would Rum and PeePaw, would you guys like to stay for the clips, or would you like to be dragged back in later?
I'll be quite honest with you. I'm probably just going to go into bed. It is old man's bedtime.
It is, absolutely.
But I will say this: at the end of the day, it is truly my wish from the bottom of my little old heart that I hope that that lessons can be learned, and that when it's all said and done, we can still, whatever that means, be friendly to each other. Because I really truly do like everybody that's involved in this, and I do. I hope that we can find some way to be, because everybody has feelings, and I think everybody's feelings are valid. But I hope that we don't. And friends, people who are friendly with each other, you know, every once in a while, we kind of have a little falling out every now and then. We kind of have little spats, and that's okay. Yeah. But
that's what we do here. That's what we do in commentary.
Yeah. But I do gotta say, you gotta own your shit. You gotta own it. Like either, especially privately to yourself. If there's nobody, to thine own self be true. If you want to snow everybody else or whatever, that's fine. At least don't snow yourself. Be honest. Be honest to yourself about really, areas that you can grow from, areas that you can give amends to, areas that whatever. It's on you. It's on you. But you got to learn from it. I mean, really, honestly. I mean, this shit happens, and don't make it a pattern.
Yeah.
And in closing, I just want to say this: Banana is up for adoption.
Okay.
And
closing. I thought you were already closing. Oh, what do you mean in closing? You started in closing.
And if anybody wants to adopt him, just reach out to me. I will let him go real cheap.
Is there an adoption fee?
I would pay it. Whatever it is, I will pay the adoption fee.
He's pretty good at music, but we don't know if he's housebroken, to be fair. So.
Name your price, as Rooter. Also, personally, I don't mind sticking around. I feel like I played a part in things. I got kind of caught up in the crossfire last night, so yeah,
we'd love to have you.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna buy out, but I hope you guys have a wonderful stream. And
PeePaw, thank you for coming.
Thanks, people.
You keep doing you, man. I love your news. I want another episode tomorrow morning when I wake up.
You're gonna get another picture, PeePaw, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Doubtful.
And remember, if poker comes up, my name better be brought up as a good player.
I'm gonna make myself a post-it note to remind to remember to sing your praises, Miss Paradox.
Thank you. I work hard. I lost a lot of money to get as good as I am. God damn it! I would like to get at least recognition.
Well, you guys take care, and I'll.
All right, have a good night. Thank you.
See you.
See you, Riveter.
Bye.
All right. I was laughing in the middle of that, sorry, because I saw Nicholas Diorio in the chat in all caps. Good God, why did you go on the podcast? They're on Tipster's payroll! All these women are Tippy payroll!
Oh God.
No, only one of them is.
Alright, so we got this clip here. It's Aussie laughing at a story that Chris told.
You know? Okay. So we're about to go. I'm getting on top. And then she proceeds, like, while I'm going in, she says something in fucking Orcish. And if you ever heard like how the orcs talk, she does the grunt talk where it's like some shit like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I pulled out after that and walked home.
Was she trying to be sexy?
Never came back.
Like what was the thought process there?
I don't know because I stopped talking to her after that. Just broke up with her like on the spot.
Did she look like an orc?
No, she was actually.
What? Chris is screaming, stop, don't play that. Don't blame me, I didn't get this time code. This is Matt's time code.
Chris, I have so many questions.
This is Matt's time code.
Did you stop talking to her in the act, or like was it like as soon as she was like, were you like, okay, cool, but you like still carried out the rest of the mission?
I think it's hilarious that
exactly.
orcs in D&D.
At what point exactly did you stop? I mean, and did you make up an excuse? Did you say?
I think he stopped when she said that he had to purchase more pylons.
Look, Chris, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to level with you real quick. I think it's weird that she tried to talk to you like she was an orc. But also, I've had a guy try to talk to me like he's spoken Klingon. I know how weird it gets, okay? Like, it's a very uncomfortable thing.
Are orcs in D&D?
Relationships.
Orcs are in D&D. Klingon is
I think that's so funny
Star
that
Trek
I know that they're but I think it's hilarious that Chris left this stream just before to go play D&D. As soon as he's gone, we play the story about him fucking in D&D language.
Oh, he's saying he put his fucking pants on and like walked out. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't have that same type of shame. Like he spoke to me in Klingon. I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore that.
I hope he didn't even turn around and like look. He just did like the cool guy walking away from an explosion.
I just stared at the wall. Like,
I kind of hope that he had just like gone to the door, pulled out his bow, and then with his +5 magical dagger threw it directly at the orc. Thus combusting her into.
He rolls a d20.
Yeah, he rolled a d20 for a charisma check just on that, and then he winked, and then he left. Got in his cop car and get the fuck out of there.
She didn't hold it against him.
Do you guys want to hear more about Chris fucking a woman that makes orc noises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Pretty decent looking. I've not dated very ugly people.
Oh, she was a decent looking orc.
If I can be upfront with the fact that like I had a guy speak Klingon to me in bed, Chris can be upfront with the fact that he had a woman like speak to him.
Fuck it. I'll share an embarrassing one too. I had one who was a massive Ego Raptor fan, and so I put on Game Grumps to get on a good side, and then it worked, and then we went into the bedroom, but I forgot to turn it off. So you could hear the Game Grumps in the background. I'm like, what is my life? What the
my
fuck
headcanon is that it was the Sonic 06 playthrough where you're just screaming at the TV.
Probably was.
You're so free to share a total bottom.
I'll be honest with you, man.
This is how low my life got.
And she told me to shut the fuck up.
Mitch, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I've known plenty of people. Like, granted, they were like service members, like they were like American military individuals that like they need like background noise usually because they sleep with a lot of background noise, living in the barracks and stuff. And there was this guy that was like, yeah, I can't sleep, I can't do anything unless like South Park is on in the background. So there was a guy that I was seeing for a while that like he had to have South Park on. You know how hard it is to give head when somebody's like, yeah, I need to hear like fucking Kenny's voice in the background.
Yeah, I've had Team America on made by the same guys before, and it's not good because you just start laughing.
Oh man.
The things we do to get laid, Mitch, okay?
The things we do for poon. Oh, the things we you do for poon?
I
Oh,
thought of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, like the things I do for love.
that's what
but-
I've been meaning to say. Is next week we should totally do an actual love phones and get an actual guest to do some.
And try to be as not sexual as possible.
Because then I would
No.
actually take it serious, and I would want to actually give advice, and then it would. Yeah,
You can do
I don't know
both.
about-
That's the thing is you can do both. Like you can have a love phone stream, make raunchy comments, and then ha 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 ha. Okay,
then
and
give
now here's the
advice.
real advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is what I kind of
Yeah.
thought love phones were, to be honest.
Right.
I'll tell you like all of the sexual things that you don't need to know, but
So
Just
click
for
the
funsies.
subscribe button and hit the bell for that one.
I won't be
go.
here
Is there any
for
more
it,
to Chris's
but-
story?
I would have loved it
What
if
if
you
she
had like looked.
started speaking Klingon? Would that have helped?
No.
Hey,
The minute that
told you I knew fucking Klingon.
phlegm is
think, like, if you
introduced
spoke-
into a conversation, I'm
Klingon doesn't
good.
phlegm.
Whatever. And he's sort of like
Okay, but what if
like
she-
shit like that.
All right, let's just move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Do you think she's like, like he would have been like, wow.
This was one of the worst things I said, I think. 37, 35, this bit.
Your ideal date nights and what activities / food choices would make a perfect night for you? I am not surprised Squatchin asked this.
Okay, favorite activity? Sex. Favorite meal? Pussy. Done.
Based.
Upfront and
Based.
personal.
Very base. That is fake.
That's the perfect date
Right.
activities. and
For the
meals.
normal people, like myself.
Meal is, in hindsight, now that the lottery's been drawn and we know what numbers they are, yeah, I can clearly see that was she was a bit pissed off there.
Right.
But like again, it's like what Chris said. It's like who knows if it's like the Xylee bit where it's just like, okay, guys, come on, because like I just don't know where the line. I still don't know where the line is. I'm still confused as to where the line is.
Well, I mean, like, was this one of the like their first streams that they had?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, giving
like the
them like, the
They're
benefit.
still figuring it out.
Yeah, giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's like, well, this is kind of like one of their first streams. It's like one of their first major times they've had like a lot of people on their panel and stuff. So, and I mean, like, I even like talked to Aussie after the fact, and I was like, hey, friend, like, I understand that you felt uncomfortable with a lot of this, but also I feel like moving forward, you're a little bit more better equipped to know that like where your actual line is, and you might be a little bit more upfront at like what you're comfortable with dealing with and what you're willing to tolerate. Because I feel like there's a lot of people on stream that they're willing to tolerate certain things, even if they're like kind of uncomfortable with it, just for the sake of like, well, it's a stream and I don't want to derail the energy that we have right now. So, but I'm like, moving forward, I think we kind of like know where the line is, and you might feel a little bit more comfortable like saying something in the moment, or even saying something after the moment. Because sometimes after the stream,
and that's a learning experience, and that's where you need to have an internal conversation about it and why it's on stream and never brought up in otherwise is beyond me.
Can I make the point too? Because I feel like this is a good time to probably make this point. I was the producer and I was the editor, and I mean, I think at the time John, I think, was out. He was the other editor, but I was the sole producer, and so I was pretty much editing all of the videos and watching all of the videos as they came out, even if I didn't edit them, just to kind of keep up with things. Even at that point for me, I was not under the impression that Wamen recording is solely owned by Aussie. I did not know at that time
I didn't either.
that
I thought it was
a
collaborative.
specifically and so when all of the other girls were chiming in, and we'll see clips of this of like them making jokes and stuff like that, that's what I thought the line was that, okay, they're setting the bar for where this is, and that's the line in the sand. We can't go you can't go past that, right? And so when Purple Paw Prince makes a joke about, I thought pussies are called boxes. Doing like a riff off of what, kind of Chris was saying with like women cubed, because that was a thing I think for Darius at the time. It's like we were all riffing. We were all going back and forth. So when Aussie had her foot down moment, later, and we'll see that, like it just, I don't know. For me, it kind of came out of like left field, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like Aussie has always been somebody that like she's not like a very confrontational person, right? So if she gets uncomfortable with things, she's the kind of person that like she usually is someone that's like, "Hey, thanks for talking with me," and then she leaves the chat, or she'll just randomly leave the chat if she's like super uncomfortable with things. So it's kind of like this unspoken thing, and I think like, and I will agree, like she kind of needs to be a little bit more upfront about that type of stuff. And I mean, like, whenever it comes to having a podcast that has multiple hosts or a host and then multiple co-hosts, it's hard to really differentiate somebody that is like the main host as opposed to everyone else that is there to support it. And I mean, like, if you look at, I mean, Max, Mitch, like, you guys are both part of Now Recording. And you guys all play like a role into being hosts of this same thing. But there is still somebody there that does kind of call the shots a little bit. That's like, hey, we're also going to talk about this. We're also going to talk about this. And we're going to talk about this. So,
well, I mean, it's not quite the same thing because, I mean, Matt has even said this multiple times, and Mitch, I think, will back me up on this. We all own the podcast together. We're all equal stake. Like, Matt happens to do a lot of the work, and he happens to get a lot of the things that we talk about. But at the end of the day, it is all of our podcasts. This is the way that it's always been presented to me. Now, there is like, I guess you could call it an internal hierarchy. And what I mean by that is that like I haven't been there as long, so I defer to Mitch. Mitch hasn't been there as long, so he defers to like Beavers or Matt, right?
Yeah.
So like that naturally, sure. But like
yeah, but I think like
Matt
Matt is like the one person that's like, whoa. Like, because sometimes Beaver says things that are like really off the wall. And so Matt's like, whoa there, friend. Like, let's not say that. That's crazy, And then he like
he puts brakes on, when
he puts the brakes
we all do.
on.
It's
And
a bit. I mean, it's part of a bit too.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, like Aussie doesn't always make that super clear, and so I don't blame other people for not knowing that there was that boundary. And I've talked to Aussie outside of it, and I'm like, hey, friend, like I get it. Like you're uncomfortable with certain things. I know you're uncomfortable with certain things. Certain other people know that, but unless you make that like explicitly clear, no one's going to know that. So moving forward, if you do have somebody that you're bringing on as a guest, maybe before you start recording,
she was halfway there when she told Mitch to chill out or whatever.
Yeah,
and Mitch said no. And she had that opportunity there to put down why it was inappropriate.
Yeah, and so
she chose not to. That's on her.
Yeah, and so I was like, hey, friend, like moving forward, we kind of know that like I know that you're uncomfortable with this. A handful of other people know that you're uncomfortable with these certain things. But if you are going to record or if you are going to have like a stream moving forward, and this is like well after the fact, okay? Like, this is well after the fact that like this stream had already happened and the veteran recording episode, that the vet episode had already happened and everything. This is well after those facts. So I'm like talking to her outside of this and I'm like, hey, moving forward, like, where your boundary lies. I think it would help like if you bring other people onto your like podcast or onto this podcast in general, to say that before you start streaming. Like, hey guys, by the way, like I'm not really comfortable with this. If we can keep it within these boundaries, that would be good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of this is just like a big growing pain. And I feel bad because Aussie is genuinely like a really nice person. She's very unproblematic.
Like I said, I think she's just 22. I hate to sound like an old asshole. I think she's 22.
Well, Rum, I mean, I agree with you, and I feel bad about this as well, but I think it's like it's like, you have to control your guests. You have to be able to wrangle them, right, if they're getting out of hand. I would say the same thing also on the actually, hey, since you're here, who edited the episode with Horror and Hellfire?
I did.
You did? Okay, I was making sure on that.
Yeah, I edited that episode.
So like, was there ever a talk or anything to like, I mean, because like to cut that part of it, or to like, because if they didn't, because again, to my understanding, they didn't know that Horror and Hellfire was going to talk about that like in that way.
So the answer is no. I mean, okay, so Hellfire, when I finished editing the episode and I had completely like rendered it and everything, and I sent it over to Aussie, she watched it, I'm assuming, and she said, "Hey, this is great, this is wonderful." And when I was talking to Hellfire about it,
hold on, back up a little bit. It cut you out. I'm sorry.
Okay, so when I rendered the full episode for Horror and Hellfire, I had sent it over to Empress. I'm sorry, I like got all my stuff mixed up. Empress is the person that I sent it over, and I was like, "Hey, Empress, I finished this episode." I contacted Aussie. I told her that it's finished. Empress is the person that like watched it over, and as far as I'm concerned, I never got any pushback on it. When Hellfire learned that I was the person that edited that episode, she DM'd me and she said, "I'm a little worried that we might get pushback about this thing, but I was never asked to cut that part of the episode out." So I didn't. The episode went up as it was. I mean, like, I had like my own opinions about a handful of things, but I kind of like kept those off the books and just kind of like to myself. And I was like it was like more towards the end of the episode, whenever it came to their veteran podcast that I was also a part of, that I also ended up editing. And like nobody really ever said anything. If they had asked me like, "Hey, like this was not really part of the episode or the podcast or anything, like would you mind editing this out?" I would have absolutely edited it out. But nobody ever said anything. So I just
in fact, on quite the contrary, it was brought up. It was recognized, and then it was okay by default because nobody told you to pull it.
Yeah, nobody told me to pull it, and so I rendered it as it was. Well, a lot of like what I did, this entire podcast, the entire episode for Horror and Hellfire, that is the entire podcast. All I did was just cut out like the dead air, and I cut out like a lot of the unnecessary banter, or a lot of the dead end conversation, if you want to call it.
Yeah,
like
right.
I just
kind of like. Did you understand the context of that? Like, were you there like when this stream was happening and stuff? I think you might have been in the chat. I can't remember.
I think I popped in towards the end of the chat, but I was not there for a majority of it. I was actually spending
Have you seen the whole stream?
No, I will be honest. Okay. I was just I was spending it with my husband. My husband ended up getting like food poisoning, so I think
I do remember that. Yeah, I think I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
I fucking joked about it later on. I'm like, this fucking man out here, like, shitting his brains out. Rip.
Oh, boy. No, poor guy.
Yeah. And, like, DMax, you and I had, like, a disagreement with a handful of things, and we hashed it out, like, in DMs and whatnot. So.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up, but, you know, I mean.
I'll bring it up.
Okay.
I'll bring it up because it's available in chat. I've been criticized about it in chat. So, like, you and I, like, we had our disagreements. Really? Yeah. Well, you and I had our disagreements, and like I hashed it out with you privately, and then a few hours later, I like got a lot of pushback from. I didn't get like a lot of pushback, but I got like a couple of side comments about it, in that same chat. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean I see what you're saying. You're saying so you're talking about the Wamen recording staff chat, which we all have access to because we're editors, whatever. Yeah. I'm just for them to understand, because I wasn't sure what you meant.
I'm not trying to be vague about it. I'm sorry about that.
No. I just because I was a little bit confused, because I remember that we had that disagreement. Your perspective on that was that I shouldn't have said to Aussie that she should have known better, because you were implying the tone that I was like kind of talking down to her.
Yeah, well, because like I didn't have the tone of voice whenever you were talking to her. So, when I was just reading over like the chat log and everything, like I assumed, to my mistake, like I assumed that you were just like being very
and you apologized, and you were very nice. No, and that's the reason why I have any hump about this at all, is because they kept like, and I get it, they didn't say my name. I'm the one who outed myself. I didn't have to, but it's like it's just because I don't like the framing that it's like I was like somebody was trying to silence Aussie from saying this. That's not what that conversation was at all. She asked me, in my opinion, whether or not she should be like upset about it, talk about it, and I just told her my opinion, which was that I don't think this is a big deal, and I don't know if Mitch or Chris have like a reason to apologize because I don't know if they did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Because I was there and like I there wasn't any talk before the stream about whether like what the rating of the show was going to be.
Yeah.
And as soon as like it did become like a massive foot down stomping kind of moment for Aussie, they stopped. They didn't make like
Yeah.
worse comments after that. I mean,
But that's
and,
why
and
that's why I also like I told Ozzy, I'm like, hey, moving forward, like you need to let other people know like where the boundary lies.
Yeah.
Like I think like because I am the person that also edited the veteran podcast episode, and I was the person that kind of laid it out because it was my husband and it was Michael or Himbo Actual and Murdoch, who's already like familiar with Ozzy. And I'm the person that told my husband, like, hey, like, listen, like, Ozzy, she's not this person that's like, she's not comfortable with this type of like language. She's not comfortable with this type of joking that we do. So he was already like aware of it before going into it. And something that I cut out of that episode was the fact that I made it known for other people that, like, hey, by the way, Ozzy isn't this type of person that likes this type of language. She doesn't like this type of topic. She's not comfortable with this type of stuff. Michael and I, like, we're two people that have interacted with Ozzy outside of this. I don't know about Murdoch personally because I don't interact with him. But like we were already like made aware and we knew going into it that Ozzy, she's not comfortable with that type of stuff. So we toned back a lot of our jokes and a lot of our personal opinions on things. So I mean, like, you know, and
So,
I mean, like,
Mitch, were you ever given a heads up about any parameters?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that I remember.
So, I mean, like that's like my mistake in a lot of this because like I kind of came in hot at DMax about it, where I'm like, hey, if I can like be in a VC with a bunch of grizzled vets,
you called me a
that
shithead.
I know, because you kind of are. Are you gonna tell me that you're not?
Sometimes a little bit, but I don't think in that moment.
Okay, I am too. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say that I'm
You'll
not.
have
I'm
our ups
not
and
better than
downs.
you, but
No, I don't think.
What-
This isn't about better or worse than anybody.
No,
I'm not like.
but-
But I'm just saying that, like, yeah. I mean, you came off a little hot, and I appreciate you
Yeah.
apologizing. Like, but the thing is, like, I didn't carry anything like after that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I was
it's good
worried
because here's the point. Here's the broader point to this, actually, which I think is an interesting thing, is that Ozzy is such a nice person. She is such a good, genuinely tries very hard, very saintly, right? And she's very innocent. She's very cutesy. And so I think a lot of people take that under consideration, and they, I think they end up kind of purse puppying her to a degree. I think they end up kind of like sort of babying her. And I know also that Ozzy is the type of person who wants very much to kind of step into that more mature role. She sees herself as a mature person. And I've seen that within her. So like for me, I don't feel like I need, like, I feel as though I need to be kind to Ozzy, but I don't feel like I need to white knight her, you know? Like, she can make her own arguments.
No, there's definite criticisms that she can hear and take away. I mean, without a doubt. And beyond that, let it go. Like, really, don't. This is fucking internet drama, for God's sakes.
And that's what I said at the time. But that's what I'm saying is like I was just like I was like, Ozzy, frankly, like I am sorry that you feel this way. I don't remember if I said that she should reach out to Mitch and Chris, but I was like, yeah, I think this just needs to be let go. And I think I probably said something along the lines, because this is my mentality when I get miffed at things, and Mitch again will confirm because this happens behind the scenes. I'll get miffed about something and I literally say, it's fine. I'm mad right now, but I'll go to bed and I'll wake up and it'll all be better tomorrow. And that's pretty much what I told Ozzy at that point, was just like, go to bed, wake up, you'll feel better about it. What I didn't realize, and my mistake, was that she went to bed, she woke up, and she did still feel that way about it, but I didn't know that. Nobody knew that.
Well, I don't really think like she necessarily like felt that way about it, as far as it was like she didn't like it, and so she moved on, and she was like, it is what it is, and she leaves the fucking she left like the live stream up. She didn't say anything about it at that time. But then, like, when asked about it, she was very honest. And I don't, and I mean, like, in my personal opinion, having edited that entire podcast, I don't think, like, she ever demanded, as far as, like, my recollection goes, she never demanded or expected, like, an apology from anybody. She was just being honest about, like,
she
her...
did. She did kind of imply that she was
like
expecting
that
an apology.
wishful thinking of, like, I would like for somebody to apologize, but also, I mean, like, it is what it is.
Well, doesn't that mean that you're owed an apology, though?
No, not to me. Not to me.
I mean,
and I mean, like, maybe I could just be disconnected in that way. If I'm like, it would be nice if somebody apologized about this, but I don't expect it. I mean, like, to me, it's like...
Yeah, but I think that position would have to take ownership of that. You feel wronged in some way. That
I mean, like, you're more than welcome.
You're deserved to be apologized to.
I mean, like,
that's some level.
To the way that I see it is, like, you are more than welcome to feel wronged, and you're more than welcome to feel the way that you feel. Right. But I don't think that's the equivalence of demanding an apology. And I think that's, like, the stance that I took along, like, on this entire thing of, like, you feel the way that you feel. You feel like it would be nice if they apologize, but you don't expect it. You're not demanding it. You're not dragging them through the mud. You're not, like, it's not something that
she literally said
hold on.
that.
I think we're getting hooked up on semantics. Instead of the word apology, would you be satisfied with the meaning behind it, which is recognition?
To recognize that, like, they overstepped
that she was uncomfortable.
To recognize that she was uncomfortable, sure. To expect an apology, no. I don't think, like, there was ever...
No, I'm not saying expecting an apology. I'm saying instead of getting an apology, she just wanted to be recognized that she was uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, so I think that's really the... I think that's really the word behind apology. Yeah. I don't consider that an apology. I consider that just recognition.
Just to recognize that, like, she was uncomfortable, not to expect an apology or to want an apology or anything. I could be wrong about the whole thing. I don't think anybody deserves an apology in this entire situation. Right. Because, like, to be fair, they didn't know. Like, I don't go into a podcast.
To be fair, she said something, and then Mitch said no, and things kept on rolling.
Well, and Rum, would you say from that perspective then that she maybe should have expected this on some level?
I think it's complicated, simply for. Okay. Let me explain a little bit. I think it's complicated because it's like she knows where she is comfortable at, but she also allowed things to continue on past the point that she was comfortable with. And I think that should have been made known either before the stream or even shortly after the stream. But I also don't think that she deserves the criticism that she received 3 months later, because it was never... What? It was never made like a demand. It was just wishful thinking. That's how I perceived it. I mean, like, I can look back on...
Well, you can't say 3 months later when this just happened. Like, it was dead and buried.
I say 3 months later because, like, whenever the podcast came out and people were made aware of the situation, right? Does that make sense, or am I, like, not?
Well, no, because the video where the allegation was made was just posted like a couple days ago, right? That was the Horror and Hellfire video.
When was?
So it's not a 3 month ago. Yeah, it was like the stream, yes, was like 3 months ago, but that's why, like, frankly, that's the position from the other, like, that's the other position. I don't think Aussie's defense can say that, because it's like they brought it up. Like, nobody cared about that stream until it was brought up by Horror and Hellfire. She brought it up again. So it's not fair to say that, like,
So was there like context behind why it was brought up?
Yeah.
Horror was mad.
No, Horror wasn't mad.
Yes, she was.
No. Okay, so
she said
the breakdown is that there was a punch list of what they were going to go over. and HH brought it up and put it on the list of topics for them to go over between Empress and HH.
Well, because
and then it was
Hellfire was supposed to be on that thing, I think. If I'm understanding it correctly.
She was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was
I don't remember what
supposed to be on
happened, but
that.
she was.
Okay, so she was supposed to be on that, but she wasn't for whatever reason, and it wasn't brought up until the moment that interview happened, right? Am I getting this correctly?
I think so. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're going in circles. Should we move on?
Well, I'm trying to like get the timeline in my head. I'm sorry.
I think to be honest, I do think that it is semantics.
It kind of is semantics, but I also think that it's like still kind of important where Hellfire was supposed to be featured on that stream, but she wasn't because of other things. So they asked her about it after the fact. So she's talking about this with hindsight of like 50-50, or like hindsight's 20-20, whatever the fuck the saying is.
Matt's in the chat saying that the criticism was for Hellfire.
The criticism was for Hellfire, like.
I think he's talking to Steffi.
Oh,
I don't think.
Sorry, I thought he was.
I don't think he's talking
Well, you got to at Steffi, Matt. You've got to put the at Steffi so we fucking know. Otherwise, you're just screaming into the ether, and I'm assuming you're talking to the person on the stream because that's where you are, motherfucker. You're on a stream chat. There's a stream happening, buddy. I'm sorry. I apologize. I went too far.
Well, can I explain my kind of like my mindset on this whole thing?
Sure.
Okay, so my understanding is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, I'll admit if I'm wrong. My understanding is that for that stream specifically, Hellfire was expected to be there. She couldn't be there for whatever reason. That's fine. That's not for me to know. Whatever. She couldn't be there.
She's getting laid.
Probably.
I think that's true, actually.
I wish I was. But my question, so my understanding is that she was expected to be there. She couldn't be there. And so they decided, well, if she can't be here, let's just interview her later. And they start asking her a series of questions. And the questions go as like, hey, like, how did you get your name? You rebranded. Why did you rebrand? Also, by the way, you were supposed to be a part of this thing. What happened to you not being a part of this thing? Since you weren't a part of that, in hindsight is 2020, how do you feel about the things that happened on that stream? Hellfire gave her opinion, just the same as she gave her opinion on the veteran podcast that I and a handful of other people were on. And she answered the questions that she could answer that they gave her. And so I think like it's a case of like hindsight is 2020, you can't answer questions that you would have had an answer for in the moment, but looking back at it, you can be critical, you can have your opinions, you can have your thoughts on it. That doesn't make it fair. I don't think it's fair because she wasn't there live during it happening, but she can have her opinions afterwards. So
wait, hold on, wait. Didn't she say on the thing that she was watching it and going, "Oh God"?
She was there. She was in the chat. But I mean, she was.
I don't remember that being part of like the podcast.
I don't know if she meant like when she was watching the VOD or if she was actually in the chat, but she distinctly said, "I was horrified for you."
Yeah, I was there. She was in the chat. Like I know that for a fact.
Okay.
So like I like here's the thing though, Rum, is that like I appreciate and I understand like anybody can have whatever opinion they want, right? But you started this whole thing by saying that nobody said that that Aussie was owed an apology, and that is literally Whore and Hellfire's opinion. That's the whole reason she brought this up.
It was one of those like Empress asked like, "Did you get an apology?" And then Aussie said no, and then Empress and Hellfire were kind of like on the same page of like, "I think you do deserve an apology." Correct me if I'm wrong. So
it's exactly what I said.
It was just one of those.
So we're in
They say,
agreement.
"I think you do."
Yeah.
I think you do deserve an apology, but also, I mean, like, Aussie saying like,
Yeah, so Horror said that she deserves an apology. Horror said that Aussie was deserved an apology.
But would you equate that to being like a demand? I don't think that's a demand. I think it's just saying like.
Oh, I think that's pretty much a demand. When you
It's not.
when
I
you
mean,
say,
like it would be one thing if you like you tag them, you're like, hey, you deserve to like you need to apologize to this person, but they're like,
no,
wishful
hold
thinking.
on. No, if I say to Mitch, I think you're owed an apology. That is an opinion, and that is a forceful opinion on somebody. That's a condemnation on someone else's.
I can see where you're coming from, but I feel like personally, the way that I perceived the situation was them more no wishful thinking of like, yeah, you do deserve an apology.
The tone of that was not wishful thinking. It was like school marming. It was like, you know what I mean? Like it was like a finger wagging. It wasn't like, oh, it would have been nice if they had done that. It was just like, yeah, they didn't do that, and that was wrong.
Yeah, but
like
I
they
mean,
should
like,
have.
how many times have you been in a situation where you're like, that person should apologize, but you're not like saying, I wish that they would. It's a semantics thing.
Yeah, nah.
It really is like a semantics thing. It's like, well, that person should apologize, but you don't expect them to.
Well, like
you know?
I said on PeePaw's stream last night or this morning for you guys, yeah, I had my feelings hurt this year, but I never thought they should apologize because they didn't know that was a trigger or whatever for me. Like, they had no idea, so it's up to me to regulate that. But while we're on apologies, all I have to say about that is this.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
I'm sorry, I did not plan for the now recording thing to be so perfectly placed above the links. That is perfect. That was an accident.
That's great. Marks out.
But I mean,
I'm throwing you off now. I'm sorry.
You're fine. It's okay. That was funny.
I think you're gonna cry? It's okay too.
That's absolutely like, some tension relief that you need.
I'm good at that.
The way that I perceive things, and you don't have to agree with me, you're more than welcome to disagree, is that like you'll come across in your personal life, you will come across situations where you're like, well, that person should apologize. But you're not expecting them to, okay? And you're not going to hold it against them if they don't. And in private, talking to Aussie, I'm like, hey, friend, listen, like, moving forward, like, be very upfront about what you're comfortable with. Moving forward, like, this is a growing pain. You didn't like this thing, and that's okay. You don't have to like this. You don't have to agree with it. But moving forward, if this is something that you want to be a part of, you need to be very upfront about what you're comfortable with. And that's okay. Like, just let them know. As long as they know, moving forward, you can avoid situations like this. That has always been, like, my personal opinion about it. But I can also kind of, like, just see, like, I just don't think that this entire situation, I don't think it deserved the amount of attention that it got.
Yeah.
I mean, it got the attention because the girls put it out there. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
Sure,
Hey, listen, you know what? The fact is, she's 22. Just a lot of growing up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of figuring stuff out. There's a lot of doing shit wrong. Unfortunately, you're on a huge platform doing it.
No, I feel like it's
up,
very much
you
like
know?
a growing pain. I feel like it's a growing pain for Aussie, and I feel like it's a growing pain for
I think it's a growing
that
pain for
entire
everybody.
brand. Yeah, it's a growing pain for them. So it like that's fine. But it's like moving forward, it's saying like, hey friend, like if you're gonna be on this podcast, we're not comfortable with this.
Okay. Sure,
and that's okay. You know? So I mean, I don't expect Aussie to get the apology or whatever. I don't think that there is an apology that is owed. I think it's just, hey, this was a growing pain, and moving forward, let people know what you're comfortable with before you start interviewing them or before you bring them onto your podcast. And I think that's going to help, like, you know, and that's just me. You know,
Right.
just saying
No.
like, hey,
Yeah.
just let people know beforehand. Because I talked to DMax about things behind the scenes, and DMax was like, hey, there was no statement beforehand. And so to find out later that Aussie was uncomfortable, that kind of like sidewinds a lot of people. And I'm like, okay, well, it's on me for getting fiery about the situation because I didn't actually know going into this, and I'm sorry about that.
But that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest takeaway too. Is that Rum?
Yeah.
You haven't watched the full stream. I would recommend anybody to watch that full stream if you really want to know what happened. Because
I
it is back
told you
up.
that, I'm a dirty mouthed individual. I'm a fucking deviant.
Yeah.
So the things
Yeah.
that were said on that stream, they don't
Well,
bother
no,
me.
that was the
personally.
ironic thing was that after you had a whole fiery outburst at me and we kind of settled things in the group chat on the Wamen recording, you ended up saying or telling me that like you wanted me to get in a jar, and then I had quit back that like, oh well, now who's making the dirty comments, right? It's like because like again like that like you did that in the presence of Aussie.
I simply said a jar. I didn't say a cum jar, sir.
Oh, come
Oh
now.
God! All right, I think
Come
we should.
now.
We just got to get through a couple more clips, and then I'm going to bring in Chanree.
Semantics, my darling.
So in
guess
this
so.
clip, we've got Aussie reading a sex joke that Jessica Pizzle sent in. Who I'll drag in Jessica after Chanree. Pretty sure, yeah.
Go buy a sex doll.
No, oh, sex doll. Hello.
Thank you, Jessica.
Hello. Say anything?
We really appreciate it. Let's see what she said. The best way to get over someone is to get under someone else.
Or over somebody else.
Oh shit.
Oh dear heavens above.
Okay.
Whoever played that.
Probably
played that?
Mitch.
Yeah.
Being ghosty saying, Mitch, play that thing I sent you.
Full disclosure, that was me. And you can see it was me because my name lights up as you hear Ghosty going, I'd eat Jessica Pizzle's pussy. I apologize for playing that. I don't play that sound anymore. It's fucking dead. It's old. It's old news. There was Reese's bit, but I don't have that time code. I'm just going to play this very last clip, which is Chris apologizing. On the stream. On the actual stream.
Pancakes.
That's a question.
That's
Is Poppers as popular in the gay community as I was told? Yes or no?
Yes, that was me who told you.
Oh, I'm a minute behind. Sorry.
There we go.
I'm listening
That's
to
all I
Harry
needed.
Potter talk.
Okay. See you later, everyone.
I am sorry
Yeah.
that this turned into degeneracy, Aussie.
He said it right there. It directed it at her. I'm sorry this turned into degeneracy, Aussie.
Whoops.
And that is the part that horror did not see.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh yeah,
unfortunate.
poor Hora did not see that. Damn, almost like she didn't actually watch the whole stream.
It's weird,
Sucks,
right?
bro.
Yeah, talking out of pocket. Like you know what you're
Yeah.
talking about, but then you don't. It's so strange. So strange.
Oh, hi, Matt. You finally decided to join. You had your little argument in the chat, and I told you to come in voice, and you're like, no. And now you do.
I was uncomfortable.
Fuck off. No, you weren't.
No, you gotta if you're gonna be uncomfortable, you gotta tell us 3 months later, okay?
Yeah, we'll expect that.
That's how that goes now.
A minimum of 3 months. At least then they owe you child support. Okay.
Right.
Like, month.
Yeah.
Well, you missed the clip. I want to find that clip though, like because that one clip is kind of important, like the one with Chanree.
Chanree, yeah. Which one? Because I've got the whole list here of what Matt got me.
It's the one.
Making sex
It's the
jokes?
one about the booty licking.
Booty licking.
Because that's
Booty
that's
licking.
That
I
is
remember.
exactly.
Chan-
Yeah, that's
yeah.
exactly
I've
the
got
moment.
it here. I've got it here.
Analingus, exactly.
I've got it here.
Oh, I'm so excited for this.
Chris, I'm
You know
meaning
the
it.
worst
I have
part-
met a lot of what I would say booty lickers, and they are always coming to me like, "I want to kiss you." I'd be like, "Oh hell no, you're not," and they're trying and so. So I
Okay, I'm just going to translate from Swedish English there. Well, I think what she's saying is she has people eat her ass and then they try to kiss
You
her.
should no
and
no.
She's
keep,
like, no.
keep playing it.
Oh, okay.
Keep playing it.
Is that what she
Yeah.
meant though?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to punch them in.
You mean literal booty lickers when you say
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got a new poll for chat
And
too.
it's not only guys; it's girls too. It's girls too.
They be tossing that salad.
No, see that's the real question.
Okay.
Did he ask on the first date?
Okay.
That's
No. Okay. This is my stream. I can call things when it's on my own stream. That's enough. Okay.
Damn, those girls were out of line.
I can call things on my own stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should apologize.
Ozzy was
They
trying to make
should.
it like the thing that I can fault Ozzy on is the fact that like she's not a very confrontational person. She's not the only person I know that isn't super confrontational in that way. So,
I'm sorry, Rum, but that's not an excuse.
It's
just
not, but that's
it's
why
not- No, so you
that's
agree
why-
it's not an excuse. So why are you
No, that's
saying it
why
like
I
it
told
is?
her. That's why I told her later on. I'm like, hey, look, moving forward, like you know what you are and aren't comfortable with. So before bringing people onto your stream, let them know. And if they can't abide by that, then they know why they got kicked. You know, I mean, like that was like my equal criticism to her. But also, I mean, like that's something that's kind of hard to defend. It like the reason why like it's hard to defend is because like I know Ozzy, I know her personally, I know like how she is, and so it's easy for me to like pick up on those things, and it's easy for me to sit there and just be like, I can see where she's getting uncomfortable, but it is also for me to sit there and be like, hey, listen, if people don't know, you can't expect them to know. You
But
need
Rum,
to
also
tell
too,
people.
again, no, I don't think anybody was under the impression that Wamen Recording was Ozzy's channel and that it runs by Ozzy's rules. I think most people were under the impression that Wamen Recording was up to all of the Wamen equally. Like so the other girls making those comments and those jokes pushes the line up for other people to go further.
You know, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really got that impression.
That what?
And that could just be me and just not be like paying attention.
Got the impression
Because-
what?
That it was an equal share, because when people are interviewed or if people are talking about things, it's because Ozzy wants to know about that. The Veterans
Hey Matt,
podcast.
are we equal in now
Equal
recording?
share. Yeah, we're all equal.
Equal share.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
Matt's
yeah,
leading.
yeah. Well, I mean,
the
like that's
podcast
now
is based
recording.
off of
Everything's
now
Matt's
That's
fault.
now recording. But like with Wamen Recording, I mean, like personally, I don't know. Like
Women
as far as
can't
I'm
share.
concerned, I always knew that it was kind of like Ozzy's idea, and it was Ozzy's like baby, and that was her thing.
Women
you know,
can't-
and I was never told otherwise. So I just kind of
But nobody was ever. Yes, I'll give you. It's a total game of assumptions, 100%. But it doesn't say Ozzy Recording. It says Wamen Recording, and they are the Wamen.
But
And they're
but,
labeled
like,
as co-hosts.
Ozzy was also the same person that decided for the Veterans podcast, and she's the person that came up with the questions.
But
and
that's
she's the
after
person-
this. But that's after this, though. It's like
Okay.
you can't. Isn't that like Monday? Isn't that what is it? Monday morning quarterbacking to like bring up the Veterans podcast because that's like post mortem. That's like after the problem already happened and was told and was talked about.
Not only that, it's a Valentine's Day stream. It's the context
Right.
is way different.
Yeah, I just
It's a
want
phone call. It's a love phone thing.
I want to bring up what
I get
Liza
it,
said.
We're cool though, Rum. I don't want you to feel like I'm heat at you.
I'll concede to that.
I'm not cool with you, Rum, until you see your tits. Anyway, I want to bring up a point Liza
I'll
made.
fucking say less, Mitch. Check your DMs.
Oh, what'd I do? Oh God, why are you gonna throw me off like that? Now I think I'm in trouble. And
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know?
oh, there's nothing there. What the fuck?
Matt Pitt.
What?
Anyways.
Anyway, Liza
So-
said it's exhausting having to tiptoe around people like that, and I agree. If I have to fucking tiptoe around anyone, I kind of distance
Well-
myself and like, no,
I
I'm
don't
not-
like self-censorship at all.
I'm not doing that.
I think that it's that now that it's widely known what is acceptable and not acceptable on her stream. I think it's very clear whose stream it is. I think it's very clear.
Oh, it is now.
What she
Now it
considers to be beyond her acceptable limits. And you know, and it's a learning experience. She can vocalize when people have crossed the line. She's just got to learn follow through. That's all. All this is to it.
I can agree with that because
She knows exactly where the line is for her. She's just got to. She can vocalize when she's uncomfortable. great. Then she's got to follow through. I think it's just a 22-year-old learning experience. You know, that's all there is to it. Really. And unfortunately, it's under a microscope because she's got a channel, and you know, and everybody has got bills to pay. So you know, that's what it comes down.
I mean, like women recording, like it's not even monetized. They don't get paid for this. They do this for fun.
I'm saying like people like us that you know would like to talk about drama or whatever.
You know, that's
just basically saying we have content because of her fuck up. And as unfortunate as that is part of the price you pay having a platform. That's just the way it goes.
And I told Aussie in the background that like this is just a growing pain, and now you know where the boundary lies, and like it's something that I've reiterated this entire time, where I'm like, moving forward, you know what you're comfortable with, you know what you aren't comfortable with, and I think you need to let people know that before they come onto your podcast.
People now know that Aussie is very sensitive. Or from what I can tell,
do I need to bring that evidence up again for those that missed it?
I don't think the butt licking thing is that big of a deal, but you know, I'm pretty raunchy.
No, the tweets. He's talking about the tweets.
The tweets.
Oh.
Remember?
Just hang on. Just hang on. Can you just repeat what you said? Just repeat what you said, please, Paradox. What you just said.
What did I say?
I don't know. Something about her being sensitive.
Or innocent, at least.
Innocent.
No, I'm saying she's. I don't think I said she was innocent.
Oh.
I'm saying I think she's sensitive, and her knowing that in her platform of what she considers beyond acceptable for her. Now people know that they can't go on and talk about kissing after butt licking.
Kissing after butt licking every time. Are you kidding me?
Listen, I'm polite, all right? I'll do it after a blowjob, but I draw the line at the ass.
I'm polite. I'll at least like rinse my mouth out, but still. DMax?
What about me?
He's suspiciously quiet.
Yes.
What? About what? What do you mean? I'm
kissing after butt licking.
Are you asking me if I kiss after butt licking?
No, I'm asking. Do you rinse your mouth out, or do you just go for it?
All right, I'm gonna bring.
Oh no, I just never brush my teeth.
I'm gonna bring in Chanree now, because otherwise we're never gonna get to her. We've gone in circles about
after
10
tongue
loops.
punching a fart box, he's here
because
for
we
it.
gotta start wrapping up.
Yeah.
Hi.
If you want to go Paradox as well, please don't let me hold you up.
Yeah, no, I'm okay for a minute. Hi, welcome.
Hey, Chanree.
Thank you. Yeah, it's morning here. I woke up before the stream, 3 a.m.
I hope you're feeling all
Still
right.
sick, by the way. Yeah, I'm still sick.
Oh.
So I'm gonna state it very quickly here. I was not aware about it was private, the stream and so. And I even got right now, apparently, the small short as well is gone too, or whatever. I'd be like, oh, okay. Wow, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, because I'm going to say very clearly here, Max, I'm going to say first. Yeah. Chris and Mitch shouldn't be apologizing because of this. This is getting so fucking ridiculous.
Well, I haven't. Do I have to play the clip again?
No, I don't care. Because I feel like you guys, I know you guys a little more after, with now recording and so too. But I mean, with this kind of shit, it's like, why are you guys dragging on this too? I'm asking them too as well, because this has happened before.
What do you mean it's happened before?
And I'm not... I will take it very vaguely on this too as well, because this is always, when it comes to when you are doing a stream and anything like that, or doing co-host, sometimes you can reflect or talk about it too as well. And to be honest, communication is the key. I always told them that from the beginning as well, when I started joining them. We even had with the episode with Cassandra, for example, one of the episodes, solo episode there, we told about the situation there too. That's one example for it. By the way, yes, you know, this is a message from Liana, from you to Mitch. She was like, he should have put you into this. Why? I was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I was trying to get to you. I was trying.
There was a. So can you just remind me? Because again, like it's just like I just feel like this is what contributed to my misunderstanding for where the line was with Wamen recording. Early on, I think like in episode 2 or something of Wamen recording, you had talked about a story involving a guy who basically wanted to do diaper play or something like that.
Yes, and even I even said sorry behind the scenes too as well. I even warned them about this as well. That, and I'm very open as well. I am first of all Swedish, you know, typical, and European more likely, and I am not, you know, I'm pansexual, anything like that. So it's getting to a
but
bit
my
ridiculous. I'm
point
gonna
is
say it too.
yeah, but that's the thing is that's my point though, is that like so there have been raunchy comments made not only on that stream by the other women like you, because you were making raunchy comments, I was making everybody, we were all doing it, but also it was in previous episodes of Wamen recording. So even if they did their due diligence and went through just to see if like what the show would be so that they could try to match the tone, even if they did that, they still probably would have acted like they did on that stream, or at least I would have. You know, because again, I was in the blind. I watched every single episode of Wamen recording, and I talked with you guys a lot in the Discord. I knew all of you guys, and we talked quite a bit because this was before I was on Now Recording and everything. And I was even under the impression that it was all like so. Chanree, you know for a fact, right? Like, was it ever in your mind at all for Wamen recording that you guys like that this was Aussie's ship? Like this was specifically Aussie has all the control in this podcast? Were you aware of that?
Not in the beginning, because what I understood, she was looking for people to join basically, and I'm gonna say from Cassandra, and I know she had been here in the Shockmouth and everything. I don't know Cassandra either.
I think
but
she
even
disappeared.
that situation, that situation too was even ridiculous as well. I'm gonna say it too as well. It's a long story there too, but in the beginning it was like it was not at the beginning first, but then it started to go a little more. It is hers. She has said it in the streams too. I even have said it too. It's like trying to, and I even have mentioned we should have communication to each other, and you know, not throw each other under the bus and so. That is the thing. But I think it have happened after I took the break. You know, because when I took the break, I got sick as well. It's almost been over a fucking month right now. I'm very sorry you guys haven't heard about me or anything like that. So,
get well.
But I said it very well. I need a break, first of all. We are doing this because I have to sacrifice to get up in the morning. I feel like beavers, more likely. I have to get up very early and so too, because of the time zones.
Sure. So you're saying at the very beginning you were not under the impression that this was just Aussie's podcast. You thought that it was everybody involved, kind of like Now Recording, where it's like, you know, everybody has kind of an equal share, an equal stake to the claim of what the show was. And then after you left and you came back, then you felt like, or you started to understand more that was the case.
I mean,
Can I kind of like argue a little bit of a point? Because whenever it was like when Chanree said, well, that wasn't what it was in the beginning, she was looking for A, B, and C. Like, it sounds like, and Chanree, you can tell me otherwise, it sounds like this was Aussie's idea originally.
Yeah, because she bickering about with Matt Pitt that she wanted to do a book, you know, podcast. That was her intention at the first.
So this was her original idea, looking for other people.
But Rum. Hey, Matt. Now Recording. Whose idea was that?
That was Toxic and Beavers, I believe.
Yeah.
That being said,
so again, like so your perceived leader for Now Recording is not the guy that created the podcast.
No, it's the person that carried it on, because Toxic stopped really like being super involved, and Matt kind of stepped up. And Matt, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but like
you're wrong.
Kind of are the person that like you kind of guide a lot of these things.
No, we're all in it together. Like,
and maybe it's unfair. maybe it's unfair to equate these two things, but like again, like the everything about Wamen recording was, like, as far as I understood, was like kind of supposed to be a mock sort of reflection of Now Recording. And yeah, they did talk. They didn't go into as much of the commentary stuff. I know that they're kind of pulling away more from that now, and like all that. And that's fine. Like, but again, like it's just it's the perception. It's for people who don't know, because like Chris, for instance, how is he supposed to know? Like, how is he supposed to? First of all, how is he supposed to know that it's just Ozzy's stream? But also, like, what Ozzy's line is, especially when all of the other co-hosts, which he thinks at that point are like equal share, equal claim, you know, like how is he supposed to gauge that without somebody saying anything? And I know that you said that, yeah, she should have said something and all that. So it's a bit of a moot point at this point.
I feel like she should have said it, but also I feel like, you know, Ozzy is also the same person that like she reached out to me personally about like this idea that she had, and she's the same person that tried to coordinate this podcast and the episode that I was a part of, and she's also the same person that reached out to me. So I mean, like, to me and my perspective, she was the same person that reached out to me for the podcast episode for veterans. She's the same person that reached out to me for editing, and she's the only person that ever reached out to me for thumbnail art and things like that. So to me, it just kind of came off as like she is the only person that is reaching out. She's the only person that is talking to me. She's the only person that's bringing these ideas to me. So it was easy for me to just kind of make the assumption that she's kind of the driving force behind this thing. Maybe that's not fair, but
it's not. It's not, because you're the only person. Like you have a narrow view of this, and you're not looking at Chris, who doesn't have that same view as you, or Mitch, who doesn't have that same view as you. So I just feel
Chanree
like
was literally on the podcast, and she didn't think that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, I saw right now, Hand Animal as well. She was in the beginning too as well. Was asked by Aussie too, and it began. If we gotta take it very back as well, the reason I came in basically were around the Twitter space we had. More like we all spoke about it, where everything went down. I think some people remember that that Twitter space, but I forgot about it. By the way, a little bit about it.
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah,
this
it was
is
Hannah
not
and
only...
all of them in a right. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say too as well, and I hope they are not gonna be angry that I'm coming out and talk about it too as well, because to me, I'm a grown-ass woman myself. I know when it comes to boundaries and so too. And yes, I've been watching Riveters. I think it's very clear that he said as well, it could be, you know, that. And another thing as well, some people have been asking me about the booty lickers. I was like, yeah, but here's the thing. Booty lickers can mean two things. Either what you guys said with the ass and so, but it means as well to lick the boots.
Oh,
I
a boot
appreciate
licker.
what you're saying, Chanree,
Yes.
but at the same time, Purple did clarify and say, "Do you mean literal, actual booty lickers?" And you said yes.
Wait, so you didn't mean
that
bum?
too as well.
Licking booties. I don't know.
Wait,
Okay,
and I mean,
Chanree, did you mean? So did you
I
mean?
would take it in the bum.
Maybe fucking oh god. Maybe it is just my perspective my perspective about this entire thing. It's just like my
I think
interactions
it's ridiculous.
whenever it came to women recording, and part of the reason why I don't understand why it blew up as big as it did.
Bless you.
It was because my interactions have only ever been with Aussie, and the thing that I have seen from beforehand. Shut the fuck up!
Okay. I will shut up.
No,
Were you saying something, Ron?
It's okay.
My husband kept sneezing.
Okay.
But I would say this, Ron. I will be clear. I have told Austin and everyone we should split up the jobs too. So I am doing when it comes to art, and I'm looking for it. I even planned this in here. I even asked her to come. There has been suggestion where we can talk, who we can enter, and so too.
No, I was talking to Ozzy about things and behind the screen, but from my experience, my perspective, the things that I've been exposed to, whenever decisions were made, topics were talked about, and everything, it was Aussie that was like the driving force behind a lot of it. That's why I was a little bit more comfortable talking to Aussie about things because she seemed to be the person that would talk about ideas and talk about questions, and like she would come to me to kind of like reflect and be like, hey, are these good questions to ask? Like, is this like a good idea and stuff like that. And so like when I think about Wamen recording, I think about Aussie, I think about the fact that like she's been the only person that's actually reached out to me and has reflected and asked questions and was like, hey, do you know anybody that would be good for this? Because she's been the only person.
That's your personal experience. I think we're talking about from a general perspective. Looking at a podcast, if I were to look at, because I know none of the backstory, so me looking at that channel, I would assume that it's an even split between everyone.
No, that's where like I'm admitting fault. That's where I'm conceding on a lot of these points, where I'm like, in my perspective, it's always been Aussie that's reached out and talked to me about this stuff. So I just kind of like accepted that like maybe Aussie is the person.
Yeah.
Hey, Rum, when did you start talking to her? When did you start talking to her about Wamen?
Fucking God, mid-March, early March, late February, when she reached out about the veteran podcast.
Okay, so that was after.
It was after that stream. Like I knew that it existed, but it wasn't until Aussie reached out and she was like, "Hey, friend, like, we're wanting to do like this veteran podcast, and these are the people that we would like."
The reason why I ask is because again, like that is after, like the point in question. That is after the point in time in question. Yeah. So like your perception of it after that. Yeah, frankly, I don't think it really matters.
The situation itself. That's why I'm like, hey, look, like speaking on like a perspective of somebody that's reflecting on a situation, I'm sure that there's been like episodes that were put out that looking back on it, you're like, I kind of wish I said this. I kind of wish I said that. I kind of wish I put this forward. And that's why I'm a little bit more forgiving to Aussie for things. And that's why I'm like, I don't think it deserved the backlash that it got last night.
So you don't think it deserved me tweeting about it or us tweeting about it? That was a backlash. Tweets.
I just kind of feel like it was one of those like it blew up and it didn't deserve that. I don't know. I mean, like I could be wrong. I feel like if you reached out to Aussie privately, she would have talked to you about it. I don't know if you guys did.
I don't want to reach out to
her. Whoa,
why do we need to reach out? Whoa.
Why do they need to?
I'm just fucking look. I'm putting out my fucking opinion. You don't have to agree with it.
Yeah, we don't.
Sucks.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. That's the great thing about being a fucking person. You don't have to agree with me. Okay. But at the end of the day, I know Aussie a little bit more personally. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. I will concede to the fact that I am a biased person because I know Aussie to be just a good fucking person. She doesn't.
Agree with me that she's a mature person.
She's not
right?
a fucking shit. She's not a shit disturber. She's not a shit disturber. She doesn't want to cause fucking problems. She just want to interview people. She just wants to talk to people. All she wants is to fucking talk to people. That's all she fucking wants. That's the thing that I don't appreciate about like everything that I don't like.
Hey, Liana, what do you got to say?
All you fucking do is like all you did was fucking attack her.
Hang on, whoa!
You didn't actually talk to her.
What are you talking about?
You didn't fucking talk to her.
I don't owe her a conversation.
Didn't talk to her.
I don't owe her a conversation. I don't owe her a conversation.
You didn't fucking DM her.
I don't owe her a conversation.
You didn't DM her.
I can criticize her on Twitter if she's talking publicly on a podcast.
She didn't DM.
And I criticized Whore Hellfire about it.
Okay. But like you didn't talk to her. That's like my fucking issue.
Why does Matt have to initiate it though? Like I don't get it. What are you trying to like?
Matt's known for not reaching out to people. He hasn't reached out to Liana in a god long time when he should.
Yeah,
because they're having a baby.
Like, do you mean you need to reach out to Aussie and just clear the air? Is that what you're saying, or?
I just think like
Whore and Hellfire started this, by the way. So I don't like. Again, it's like
Yeah, but, like,
I don't get
that
that.
brings me to a question. Chanree, am I saying that right? Chanree?
Chanree or Sean, whatever. It's American, whatever. So I don't care.
Okay,
Just
well,
Shan
I'm
is
going to
okay.
butcher it.
Can I
apologize.
just say something?
I want
can I
to
just-
ask you a question real quick.
Yes.
Do you guys receive a heads up on the docket of what's going to go down in the podcast, or did you receive a heads up of the docket of subjects that we're going to be discussed that night or that day or whatever?
First of all, in the beginning, I can say we have not that. So we suggest to each other we should do a docket, and we even have we start to write another thing. And there are always, we can write down your own questions, so too. And it took at least a month after to do that because, when you are starting new, you start to experience stuff and even give people advice and so too as well. So we did start to grow on that too. But like I said,
on the docket, did it say to go over the Valentines Day podcast? And if so, did it have anything below that, like specifics about how horrible the stream it was, or to go over that you guys were going to discuss giving critique to the advice that the boys gave?
No.
Fucking hell.
Not what I can think of. It's like, what?
Fuck my life.
I mean, we are basically open when it comes to streaming because when you're doing stream, it's more different when you're doing a recording and stream because in stream you can always, talk. And I mean, I basically had other questions to the guests and so, but as you can hear in the background, I'm most of the quiet one. If you notice it, basically.
Okay,
so,
the reason why I'm asking is because there seems to be some kind of question on whether.
Okay, you wrote. I saw Empress writing, and she wrote the doc. Okay, then I will apologize for that because you must understand, my memory is not very great. Even when you're sick, even I can forget stuff. I'm getting old.
Of course. I mean, I'm just because there is a question of who really brought it up. And I can see that it could easily have been a miscommunication of that. It could have easily been motive-wise on the docket to discuss as giving critique to the boys for their advice. I can totally see that. And then the way that Aussie replied and responded to the topic when it was brought up, it went into the direction of how bad that stream was. Instead of the direction of critiquing the advice of the boys. Okay, so I could say that the person who brought it up originally was HH. However, the direction that it went into was primarily due to Aussie. And I don't even know if she was aware of that was put on the docket, not to discuss about how uncomfortable she was, but about to discuss how the boys gave advice. I think it is clearly 100% a miscommunication. I think everybody thought it was supposed to be one thing, and then the conversation just waylaid into a totally different direction, and everybody rolled with it. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
My brain is shit circulating.
I can see that totally happened.
This is important context. Empress says in the chat, she says, hello, everyone. The question was any actual real love advice for Wamen and their listeners. So I think that's what we're saying.
We're gonna do a Love Phones next week. We're gonna do a proper Love Phones next week.
Can I learn?
Completely off the wall, uncensored, completely crazy, but at the same time, advice.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's possible. I believe.
Yeah, I believe.
Yes.
Anything
okay,
called
I just think what it really comes down to is communication on nailing down topics better, communication on boundaries better, follow through on Aussie better. Grow up fast. It's a tough world out there.
No. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take Chanree. I'm gonna take Purple Paw Prince, and I'm gonna make still women recording. It's gonna be like
Hold on, Abby.
still
you can't-
now
Wait,
recording.
still women recording or still women recording?
Wait.
Still women recording. Yeah,
Still
yeah. Like,
women
like still
recording.
recording.
Are you gonna use the same
but,
font?
like now.
Calm down.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the same jingle?
Yes, Princess
Still
Liana.
women recording.
Hello. Hello. Am I allowed to say my piece?
Yes.
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 Do you want me to play the church music?
The thing that
first of all?
Hi, my name's Liana. Nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you, Liana. Hi, welcome.
The thing that upset me about the way Aussie acted was like if someone did that to me and they considered me a friend and just like threw me under the bus and said, "Hey, by the way, I said this about you. You just have to deal with it." Gave me a heads up before it premiered. I would feel like that's not a very good friend.
Because you met her, didn't you? IRL? Like, that's fucking wild that you two, of all people, from different ends of the fucking... What do you call it?
That's not the point, though. The point is I'm kind of
careful.
disappointed in the way she threw you under the bus and just
I'm not
expected
saying
you
you
to
can't be
take it.
disappointed. I'm just saying, like, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in that room. With, like, how crazy you can be and how she doesn't like crazy, you know what I mean?
She punched me in the arm.
Oh.
She assaulted me because I swore.
That sounds very Catholic.
Because you
Yeah,
swore?
that sounds about right.
You swore
Yeah, I
and she went,
swore.
"Fuck you, bang!"
Yeah, she assaulted
Bro.
me. I showed the bruise and everything.
Woman on woman
Good
violence.
time.
Can never get enough of it.
Anyways, also, I feel like this is the craziest drama of the year, like 2023 drama of the year candidate.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's the rate on
No,
this?
I think this is
Not
candidate for
Pitt.
dumbest drama of the year. Can we make that a category?
Yeah,
I really
would
want to
agree
win an
with that
award.
too.
My position
Yeah,
for this has
I
always
agree
been
with
that this
that.
is stupid. This is
I
dumb,
think
and that's
we
why
should-
I told her to
I
not
think
bring
we
it
should
up.
all just like take a chill pill and just appreciate each other. And you all can go fuck yourselves, and I hate you all.
Yes,
you.
let's go.
Thank you,
I love you
Liana.
too, Liana.
Both things are true.
I think we just need to take a step back and maybe, like,
See
I
the
know
little
what
people?
Ozzy
They're not the
wrong,
ones
and
that...
I told
hear the-
Ozzy personally what I thought, how I felt, but I think we just need to lay off a bit because she's still young and she's still learning and growing.
Oh, grow up. I don't give a fuck.
But
I'm
I
sorry.
do have to
I
say
have
one
to say it
thing.
myself.
I do have to say one thing. Ever since she started that podcast, she's a different fucking person, and she's like total phony. Don't like her.
Woo!
She's fucking changed.
Burning the bridge.
Not the Aussie I met in New South Wales and had a fun, beautiful time with. She's like a podcast host now. I just think she's better than me. Whatever.
Liana, I love you. You're perfect.
Are you joking
Wait,
or are
what?
you serious?
That's
Oh,
for
I'm
the audience to
joking.
figure out.
Okay,
Max is
I just
best
wanted
Oh,
to.
am I?
DMax? Yeah, or is she? DMax? Pay attention.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
DMax. Fucking
Yeah, I
Fucking
have no
DMax.
clue either.
I feel like
Fucking
Mitch
DMax
right
is
now.
a cock blocker, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's fair.
I do want
DMax,
to
he's just fucking
say-
tired.
Why do you keep pulling everybody in?
Because I'm stirring the pot, dude. I'm making a shit
yeah.
show here.
By the
Do
way,
not critique
there
my
was some-
He
cooking
put
skills.
Pizzle
all right?
and
Let me
Matt Pitt
cook.
in the
Oh
same
my
room.
Jessica Pizzle, welcome. Let's start wrapping it up. What's your 2 cents?
Well, I mean, like, let's be real. Like, booty holes are for exit, not entry. But also, anyone want to know the 100% guaranteed way to get a girl to squirt, or the best way to slob? On
Yes!
the nose? Like,
Amazing.
Wait, what was the
Let's
second
go.
option?
Right
On the
now.
bed.
Let's go.
Everyone shut up. What was the second option?
I said, or does anybody else want to know how to slub on the knob? Like corn on the
Slub on the knob. Well, that
You check
information is
in
going to be
with
completely
me
useless to
and
me.
do your job.
So I want to know
And that
the
is
first
Jessica
one.
Pizzle, everyone. Jessica Pizzle.
Thank you, thank you. I'm sorry
Amazing,
that
amazing.
Matt left.
You're
I
welcome.
don't know what the issue is, but
You
I love
don't?
you, Matt. I love you. I do. We're best. We'll get better. Look, we'll get better. We'll get. I don't think you can see this, but we'll get better. It will.
She's
Like,
doing a
hashtag-
heart with her hands. Yeah.
Forgiveness is more than saying sorry.
All right.
What
Well,
the
thank you,
fuck?
everybody, for
Fair
coming
enough.
out tonight. How's
Yeah.
everybody feeling? Everybody feeling okay?
Yeah.
Everybody feeling all right?
Welcome,
Yes.
welcome, Abby Blackbird, everyone.
Let's go. Well, no, that was Pizzle. Pizzle was
Yay.
talking about. For once, it wasn't me
No, I
talking
know,
about
I'm,
slobbing
but
on
I'm
knobs.
welcoming you. Yeah.
I mean, look. Let's just be real, okay?
Oh, new poll question, by the way, that Zaydon brings up. I want the people to tell us what they think. Is squirt pee?
No, it's not.
Scientifically, they say yes, but it absolutely is not because it like
It's
I
not.
think it just comes.
You want a
I
short?
don't think
I have a
if
short
comes
on
out
it.
of the same hole. And I've
It-
seen
it-
a lot
no.
of videos.
It
for
can have
research
particles.
purposes.
Yeah, of course. It can have particles that have pee particles in it, but scientifically, it is from its own area of the body. As per ASAP science.
All right, I've
on
got yes or no,
However,
and I've put there 100% yes and not just a technicality. If you truly believe it is 100% urine, as in piss, vote
Bro,
yes.
Mitch is
If you
just trying
think
to
it's
sell
just
me
a
out right now.
technicality, put no. What? No, someone brought it up in the chat. Someone in the chat said that squirt is piss.
But I can also, if you don't want to do that, I can also teach you how to make her into a waterfall. Like I've done it.
Damn, girl.
100%.
Amazing.
I've
I
done it
love it
for
here.
every single
Oh no!
girl.
Now I'm
Every
picturing.
single
Let's go.
girl.
Now-
I wish you had
Even
called in on the
girl,
Valentine's Day stream.
Oh my
I really wish you
God.
had.
She said that it would never happen. I've been able to do it. Let me tell you, just one thing. I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing, but one thing. Don't do it in with your digits.
You
Go
gotta hook it.
down. Go down.
Yeah.
Down.
All right,
people?
now I'm picturing
Down.
Jessica Pizzle like this. Look at the thing I'm sharing in Discord, everyone. This is fucking Jessica Pizzle when she's like turning the water on into a fucking waterfall.
Yes.
Here you go.
I got a short for you.
Take it.
I got a short for you, Mitchell.
Take it.
Let's go. There you go.
And then
There's
here's all the
That's for
commentary
you.
orbiters going, yes, Jessica, thank you, Jessica, thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica. And they're fighting each other, they're throwing each other out of the way, they've got their buckets ready. Give us it, Jessica. Give us. And then she's like, God giveth and God taketh away.
Mitch.
It's now gone.
Mitch, you're gonna get a claim.
No more squirting
Mitch,
for you.
look at what I put. Mitch, look what I sent you.
I made sure to be very careful.
I sent you information.
What? I don't want to watch a TED talk on squirting. I just wanted to watch Mad
It's
Max
not a
and
TED
laugh.
talk. It's a YouTube short. Okay.
By the way, Mitch, I'm checking the previous poll and everything. So apparently, Chris' story is more scarier than mine. I thank you guys, by the way, those who didn't like the booty licking. But yeah, you can call me on
bro, everybody's been
001 booty licking 999.
Chanree, I love the booty licking thing. I thought that was really funny. Like that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
do you?
that's the tragedy of all of this is that I thought it was funny. All the sexual things, it makes sense on a Valentine's Day stream. It's like that's what kills me.
I was in chat. I was actually in chat, and I was like, yeah, I was like down to call in. I was like, yeah, I can do this, because like dirty talk is like my forte. Okay, so like I'll tell everybody, like Tipster knows, like I've been on his streams dirty talking about Scott. But like I was down to go on, and then like Aussie did her thing where she was like, no, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna call in there. And I'm pretty sure, almost 100% guaranteed, I put that in chat that I was like, oh, well, I'm not gonna call in if we can't talk dirty.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
think you
down
did-
for
I
love
remember that.
phones anytime, any fucking time. I will give the most clean PC advice in the best way.
No.
Well,
Well,
we're
not
gonna
PC.
do one. It will not be PC.
No.
Well, I grew up religious, so I get the whole that's the reason I ask so many questions and I like
Sorry.
informing people is because of this stuff. It's important stuff to know. You can't just avoid it forever. That's how you end up pregnant and dying. You know what I mean?
Wow.
What? Pregnant
I
and
don't know
dying?
what you said. I just heard pregnant and dying.
It's a mean girl thing. That's what those.
Oh,
Oh,
you will get
I
pregnant and
remember.
die. Yeah.
That is
Okay.
a good reference. Good reference.
But yeah, before I'm going, I want to say at least one thing. I hope this is going to be over and nothing. I just say like this. It's just a pat on the cheek. That's all. Learn from it. Because here's the thing. I'm an artist. I take criticism all the time. That's what I have learned to grow up and everything. Because if you don't take criticism, how are you supposed to grow?
Exactly.
No one
True.
never say that. Exactly.
No,
I mean,
fuck that. No, you just ignore it all.
come
and
on.
you do your own
First of all,
thing.
And
First
of all, I went to
response ever, and I love that for her.
and fuck the haters because they hate us because they ain't us.
They hate
Fuck
us
all
'cause they
that.
Anus?
Yeah.
Henry, I hope you get to feeling better. I'm sorry you're so sick.
Yeah. So before I'm going, I'm gonna say that don't do anything stupid things because I will do the stupid things.
Okay.
There's this person called Mockery,
Yeah.
and he
Chanree.
said Jessica is a complete freak. I'm glad I
See ya,
blocked her.
guys.
Get
I
well
don't even
soon,
know
Chanree.
what the fuck
Take
you
care of
are.
yourself.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Amazing, amazing.
Oh, Jessica, I didn't realize your camera was on the whole time.
I love
Did you want your camera on screen?
Sure. I don't care.
Okay.
I
Sure.
tried blue. Hold on.
How are you doing, Miss Paradox?
I could do this. Hold on. I could do green.
I'm good.
I could
Thank you
do.
for-
Good,
Wee-oo.
good.
Wow.
Oh wait, where's my wee-oo? Where's my
Wee-oo,
wee-oo?
My wee.
Hold on.
It's
where
your
is it?
Kristen
Where is
Narc
it?
lights.
Here, nope.
Yeah,
not
you're
that
on
one,
stream
not
now,
that one,
Jessica.
Not that one. Wee-oo.
Oh wow.
Oh my
Amazing.
god, you're
This is
choppy
great.
as
Son
hell.
of the police. Whoop, whoop. Son of the police.
This is the perfect topper,
Yeah.
the perfect ending to an
Amazing.
absolute
Do you
shit
feel better
show.
about yourself now, Mitch?
Hey,
I really like blue.
I said, do you feel better about yourself now?
I feel awesome. I feel great. I feel great.
You
Thank
feel
you for.
so great.
I'm so
I want to
glad.
thank
Because you're a
everyone.
great man.
Thank.
And fuck the haters, and they
Oh.
hate
Fuck
us
'em.
because they ain't us.
In the
okay?
words of the great
Ain't us.
Ghosty, I'd really like to. No.
Oh, good lord.
great. Like, you know,
I'm
with
just
his
about
mom.
I don't know. I'm just legally, I'm not. I'm out. You know.
Okay, well, thanks for
Fair enough.
coming. Anybody want to plug anything before we go?
Sub
Check
my
out the
recording.
ADD podcast.
There you go.
Check out PeePaw every morning
Yes.
on PeePaw Riveter's channel. He's a saint. He's wonderful. If you don't subscribe to him, it's gonna be me and you.
Yeah, the coffee beans will
I'm gonna
take
go
over
through
your
his fucking
life.
subscribers, and anyone
Yeah.
that I see on Twitter that's not subscribed is on site.
They're getting,
Okay.
they're getting the
Okay.
axe. Yeah, well.
Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm just gonna go through the Patreons.
Actually, I want to plug something before we go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plug it.
Everyone sub to Lord Vega if you haven't. He's
What?
Phenomenal, a phenomenal animator.
Lord Vega, who hasn't
Lord
uploaded
Vega.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
Daddy Vega.
Sub to Lord Vega.
You never
Sub to
know
him
when he's
anyway.
gonna. You never know when he's gonna upload. So everyone go
Oh.
sub to him.
Hint, hint, hints.
Thank you to the
Hint, hint,
patrons: Akieri, Daun, Doejenggles, KinoshitaCrazy, MissKima, Hybrid. Hybrid's the only one that watches. The rest don't. So if you want to replace them, please become a Patreon. The link has been on the screen the entire time, except for now for some reason.
It's the lowest level
And they-
of payment.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Oh,
Thank you for
it's the
everybody
middle
for
or
being
higher
here.
end.
Thank you, Aussie,
Yeah.
for the controversy. Appreciate it.
Goodbye, everybody.
Get